Hello, welcome to Flyers TV for game number 5 of the 23-24 European North Basketball campaign for the Bristol Flyers as they take on Estonian side Tartu Ülikool. Tonight marks the third away trip of the European adventure for Coach Kapoulis' side as they look to maintain their 100% record away from home in the ENBL. Very well, welcome to you at home. My name's Joel Osborne. I'm very pleased to be joined in studio once again by former Bristol Flyers captain Gareth Till to talk you through this one. And Gareth, this one's all set up to be a massive Christmas cracker, isn't it?
It is, exactly. I'm sure it's snow's falling in Estonia as well, setting the scene nicely just before Christmas. But yeah, another European adventure. Flyers going really well in this competition and looking to continue that good streak.
What kind of game are you expecting out there tonight? Because, of course, the Flyers taking on a side that have only lost 2 games at home all season, and Tatu, they're 2-0 in the ENBL right now.
Yeah, very solid team, and we're well coached. Good players, good individual players. Good experience as a club in European competition, so it's going to be a tough game. And of course, Flyers coming off a tough loss in the British Basketball League, so they'll be up for that. But we saw that last time they played in the European competition, again, sort of breaking that duck and putting in a good performance. So I'm sure Coach Kapoulis will enjoy the break from the British Basketball League to get back to winning ways in Europe.
And looking at Tartu, they've had 2 wins, 2 very similar score lines to what the Flyers have had, really. I mean, they beat Spartak Pleven by 12 points at the start of November. They followed that up with a 19-point win on the road away to the Lansted Hammers. As for the Bristol Flyers, as you mentioned, 3-1 in the league so far in ENBL this season, and they're looking to bounce back from what was a disappointing performance away to Manchester Giants on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, Manchester played it incredibly well as well, shot the ball, shot the lights out in the first half. So any team coming against a Manchester club in that sort of form is always going to be difficult. But Manchester really putting on a performance at home there, and a very tough night out for the Flyers away in Manchester.
Yeah, 103-80 was the final score. The Giants, they shot incredibly well from behind the 3-point line, 43% as a team in that game. They raced out to a 16-point lead in the first quarter. It was a much stronger second half performance by the Flyers, but really the damage was done in that first half.
Yeah, it was always going to be very difficult to sort of claw back that deficit. Was it 60 points, I think, in the first half, something like that they conceded. So, that's always going to be a tough ask at home, and when players are sort of on that sort of form, full of confidence. But yeah, I mean, Manchester really kind of from the get-go always looked in control of that game.
Yeah, 5 players finished in double figures for Bristol Flyers in that game, led by 20 points off the bench for Trajan Jacob. Raf Thomas and Brad Green both posting double-doubles, and it was a rocky November for the team. The Flyers, they did bounce back with 3 straight wins in all competitions to start December, minus that blip to Manchester on Thursday. What do they need to do to return to winning ways here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough, it's been a season for the Bristol Flyers with adversity, with the injuries they've had throughout the season, and despite what you say with those, they've come back really well. They've put in good performances. The British Basketball League teams are getting stronger, getting some form as well. So Manchester, certainly a team on the up, really, and it just shows the strength of the British Basketball League. So I wouldn't be sort of too disillusioned with the Bristol Flyers and what they've come out. In fact, I think give them a lot of credit, the coaching staff and the players, to overcome those injuries, 2 very serious injuries. Of course, at the beginning of the season as well, with Christian Cunningham as well, it's really been the tail of the Bristol Flyers season, but still to sort of produce the performances they have, it's still a great team to cheer for, and another half a season to go. And
we'll get on to it a little bit later on, but of course key players now slowly starting to come back from injury for this Bristol Flyers team. You'd like to think they could be close to, if not full strength by January.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Coach Kapoulis will be hoping for, and the players as well. It's been tough, really, since we've been kind of commentating on the Bristol Flyers. I remember a season we've had injury after injury to key players, and they've still put up really good performances. So I'm sure they'll all be hoping sort of come the new year that they'll get their full contingent out and be able to put in some performances and rocking up the British Basketball League again.
Great stuff. Well, thanks a lot, Gareth. It is that time again, by the way. We're about to find out a bit more about Tartu. I know you've been excited to see this feature, but for the viewers at home, here is everything you need to know in our alternative guide to tonight's opponents, Tartu Ülikool.
'Twas the week before Christmas, and throughout SGS-wise, not a player was shooting. Wait, where are those guys? Well, they're travelling abroad, and now we are too. So let's find out more about opponents Tartu. Thanks, Santa. I'll take it from here. We're in Estonia this week for Game 5 of the ENBL in their second largest city of Tartu. It's also next year's European Capital of Culture, so come on then, Tartu. Let's see what makes you so cultured. Well, plenty of museums for one. They can choose from the Tartu Toy Museum, the Science Centre and Typer, which looks like somewhere you can make your own paper. Other cultural delights include the Sports Museum and this delightful statue called the Kissing Students. It's called that because these are students and they're kissing. Now, this is more like it. This is the gunpowder cellar of Tartu. Built in 1768, this was exactly what the name suggests, but these days it's a place to sink a few pre-match freshwaters and marvel at the ceiling. Officially the highest ceiling in a pub, recognised by the Guinness World Records at 11 metres tall, which is around 5 Brad Greens. On to game day then, and Tartu are serious winners. 26-time Estonian League champions, 17-time Estonian Cup winners, and Baltic League champions 2010. No easy task for us tonight, but it's time to lace up the... Do you know what, Santa? Why don't you round things off from here?
Santa's coming to town!
Santa! Oh my God!
Santa here? I know him!
As Coach K smiled and with a swoosh of his clipboard, his team were ready to play basketball abroad. Now Leslie, now Corey, now CJ and Brad, on Tejon, on Trajan, on Tevin and Raf. Buckle up, Flyers fans, because it's time for game night. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good flight.
Well, what to make of that, Gareth? You hadn't seen that before coming on air tonight, had you?
No, this certainly is. To be honest, it is the highlight of coming on here and seeing those. Again, saw that for the first time. Producer Dan working his magic again. Always very entertaining, and of course, some serious points there as well about where we visit and play. So no, very much enjoy that feature.
Yeah. And in all seriousness, though, I mean, you look at Tartu, a very experienced European team, experienced in the FIBA Europe Cup, the Basketball Champions League. So another valuable experience tonight for Coach Kapoulis' side. Yeah,
exactly, and another style of basketball that they'll kind of get exposed to tonight as well. Looking at their squad, a lot of homegrown talent. Estonians and Latvians in that team as well. Not too many sort of imports from North America. So very much you'll see a true sort of reflection of Estonian style of basketball tonight. So looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, plenty of pedigree tonight. So again, we're sort of going into the unknown of not really knowing what to expect. But what I will say is, the British Basketball League and the sort of the Bristol Flyers style, has been very effective against these European sides so far. So, hopefully tonight we'll see again that sort of fast pace, crashing the boards, aggressive style of basketball will work well in the ENBL.
Well, let's take you to tonight's team news, starting with the Bristol Flyers. And it was announced today, Gareth, that Tevin Olesen, he sustained a sprained ankle last week against the Manchester Giants. How much of a blow is that for them tonight?
Well, it's massive. It's another massive blow. You sort of welcome Tejon Lucas, back into the side, and of course, we have to bear with him a little bit whilst he finds his feet. But he's been Olesen's been our leading scorer, certainly up there as well. Some huge plays. That leadership qualities from last year as well. So of course that's going to be a massive miss for the Flyers. But touched on it earlier, they've come through adversity, losing players, and still put up really solid performances. And I don't expect that to be any different tonight.
Yeah, Keely Johnson also remains out. He has returned to practice this week after having his cast removed from that fractured wrist. The club is targeting a return to action for him ahead of the new year. But as you say, Gareth, exciting news for Flyers fans because Tejon Lucas is back in the squad, and that is just a huge boost for them. We've all seen what he can do this season. Yeah,
exactly. A little bit of a slower start, getting accustomed to the league, but my goodness me, in the last sort of month or 2 months before his injury, really showing the Bristol Flyers and the British Basketball League, what he could do. Effective scorer, passing the basketball, very dynamic, score from anywhere around the court, and just on a confidence, right at the peak of his confidence, and then to be struck down with that hamstring injury, bad timing for the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, it really was bad timing because, as you say, he was putting together those great performances up until the injury. He's averaging 10 points and 5 assists a game in the British Basketball League. Just talk us through what he exactly brings to this Bristol Flyers side.
Well, he's the leader. Any point guard on the floor there leads his team, sets the team up. He looks to push the ball in transition, gets the basket, always looks for, saw some great passes there. That's what you always hope for from a point guard, that try and get your players involved, but will certainly mix it up, attack the basket stronger, just very tricky finishing around the basketball, finishing in a variety of ways. So having that ability to blow by a defender with, a few crossovers and his quickness to get to the bucket always helps. But then, looking to dish off if he gets closed down. Yeah,
it certainly will be a big boost having T-John Lucas back into the Bristol Flyers squad this evening. Let's take a look at tonight's roster for the host, Tartu Ülikool, this evening, who are led by Latvian head coach Gundas Vetra. Ones to watch for them tonight include Estonian combo guard Mart Rosenhal, who leads the team averaging 19.5 points per game in the Latvian-Estonian League. He comes into tonight's game off the back of a season-high 31-point performance in his last domestic game. And also look out for Latvian forward Rinalds Malmanis, who averages 11 points and 7 rebounds per game. But Gareth, one familiar face to British Basketball League fans who will be watching this broadcast tonight will be 7'3" British big man Aaron Menzies, of course, who spent last season playing with the Leicester Riders. He only averaged 5 points and 4 boards a game last season, but had some huge games against the Flyers, particularly in the playoffs last season.
Yeah, he did have that very memorable game, I think first leg of the playoffs, and I think it was his first quarter we really did dominate and got Leicester Rise that momentum to go and win that game. And obviously the reverse fixture there, but yeah, real handful. He said sort of 7 foot plus, big strong guy, gets himself in good position. So it's definitely a mouth-watering matchup tonight with Brad Green in the paint.
Yeah, it certainly will be a good matchup. I mean, Brad Green, Leslie Smith, it's almost like the pay-per-view, the heavyweight boxers going out there. That'll be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, going to be a bit of a slugfest in there as well, but you can just see like Menzies there, how tall he is, how athletic, just grabbing that rebound, straight back up with the dunk. So yeah, real handful. So yeah, certainly have to be boxing out well. So be really good matchup inside the paint, and whoever kind of wins that battle may very well win the game. But Brad Green doing a great job in the British Basketball League, but also in Europe as well. Had some really strong performances. So that'll be a good matchup to watch at home.
Yeah, certainly one to keep an eye on for Bristol Flyers fans tuning in at home this evening. Well, tip-off is just over 15 minutes away, so it's time for us to take a quick break. But our pre-game coverage will continue. We'll see you in a few moments' time.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
Thatcher's Farm. Slightly obsessed perfectionists making cider with nothing but love. As you do. I mean, why grow 8 varieties of apple when you can grow 458? The Apple Spa. Because happy apples make better cider, obviously. Here comes the man himself, Martin Thatcher. Friday, 12:30, tasting time. It needs to hit the spot or not a drop will leave the farm. Yes! And that's why Thatcher's cider tastes the way it does. Perfect.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
Good.
Naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, where we're getting set for a Christmas cracker in the European North Basketball League between Bristol Flyers and Estonian side Tartu Ülikool. And with Christmas Day right around the corner, it's time for us to take a look at what happened when Bristol Flyers players Tijan Lucas and Keedy Johnson took on our festive What's in the Box Christmas Challenge.
What's up, guys? It's Tijan Lucas here with my teammate Keedy Johnson, and we're about to play the Haboo What's in the Box Christmas Challenge. It's like an empty roll of tissue.
That's what it feel like decoration.
Decoration you hang on a rail or something. Yeah, that gotta be like a little decoration or something, right? Oh, we got a little joke.
It's like a fortune cookie.
What do you call a row of men waiting for a haircut? A barbecue. Is that a crown?
A hat with a crown. The decorations that go on the tree. What's it called?
It's like a little...
The little thing that wrap around the tree.
Yeah. I don't know. I call them Christmas decorations.
Christmas
ornaments.
robe or something. Christmas tree robe.
Christmas rope.
Y'all call it what? Tinsel?
Bow. Is this meatball?
Oh no, there's something in there. What is it? Snowballs?
Nah, these ain't snowballs.
Some type of Christmas food.
It might be a Brussels sprout.
Yeah, but
What's this, like cranberry sauce? The only thing I can think
some
of.
Some type of like
cranberry
sauce or something.
It's like cranberry sauce or something. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that would go with Christmas food.
Smush down. It smells like it's seasoned on the top or something.
Bro, it's like some type of pie or something.
Mince pie.
It's some type of little pudding pie, something. What's the little sauce we be having on the
Custard.
Menu? Custard. That might be good with some custard on there. What's this?
Hold on.
Smell like something chicken. Like chicken stock.
Yeah, that's what it smell like. Chicken gravy.
Some type of gravy.
Like chicken.
Guys, we got 4 out of 6. Not too bad. Thanks for joining us today on Haboo's What's in the Box Christmas Challenge. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you.
Well, they got 4 out of 6, but it always surprises me how the American players don't know what a Christmas cracker is, Gareth.
Yeah, obviously don't have them in the US. So always, we used to have players that come over that we used to play with, and the traditions of the UK are very sort of different to stuff they do in the US. So it's it's good to share that experience with them as well, and they can take that home and talk about it in years to come.
Yeah. I imagine it's tough for players spending Christmas overseas, particularly the rookie players from the States having to play over here throughout the festive period. But they have got plenty of games coming their way to keep them busy through the festive period. Starting on Friday, they take on Sheffield, and then of course it's the Leicester Riders away trip as well. But all business now looking into tonight's game against a very talented Tartu side.
Yeah, always busy over the festive period, but of course, as you said, it's always that time of year when you want to be close to friends and family. So that can be tough for all players that are away. But as you said, the games are coming thick and fast, and that'll take the mind off it. And as with your teammates, you always support each other through that time. Go and visit other people's families and be part of that kind of Christmas festivities. Always sort of helps that transition until the new year.
Yeah, and looking at the ENBL campaign for Bristol Flyers, they are 3-1 in the ENBL so far this season. And to give you a little refresher as to what happened last time the Flyers were in ENBL action, they were at home against the Dutch side Lansted Hammers, looking to pick up a very first European home win.
Is Ralph Thomas Edwards, guarded inside by Bashar. Step back from the elbow, knocks it down. Just mixing up a little bit in the opening 5 for the Hammers. Oh, nice pass inside, and the reverse layup is good. Here's Jackson, kicks out to Thomas Edwards for 3, and a pair of back-to-back threes for the Bristol Flyers. Here's CJ Jackson, calling for a screen from Green. Leslie Smith will fire one up this time, and he knocks it down. And they were cold in the first quarter, but now it's raining threes at the Wise campus. New 14 seconds for the Flyers. Jackson, another screen comes from Green. CJ Jackson likes the mismatch. Thomas Edwards is wide open from downtown, and another 3 drops for the Bristol Flyers. Timeout Lansdowne.
Screen comes from Dickerson. Stoke, extra pass. The 3-pointer no good by Bashar, but an offensive rebound by Dickerson. Gets it to go, count it, and 1. Ikamba. Dickerson, extra pass on the wing, back top to Dickerson. Ikamba now swings to Bashar. Dickerson going to work on Green. Fakes once, twice. Off the back line, no good. But another offensive rebound. Here's Green. Thomas Edwards looking to go back door and is stolen away by the Hammers once again. And here they go to the races. Ikamba. Screen comes from Bashar. Ball inside, puts it up and count it, and the foul. And Terence Bashar will go to the line for a bonus.
Yeah, Coach Kapoulis not happy with what he's seen so far. Simple pick and roll, tough finish. How on earth can we get called for a 5-second violation? It's kind of things you don't see particularly often. Great steal by Trajan Jacob.
Here he goes off to the races and jams it in on the fast break. And could that be the spark that Flyers need to go on a run? Samuels finds Jacob, splits the defense. Jacob puts it up. Leslie Smith on the follow with a 2-handed jam.
Wow, Leslie Smith, talk about a player in form right now, and that is a massive putback dunk. Gets the crowd off their feet.
Here's Samuels, minute and a half to go in the third. Jacob just about gets enough room to receive the pass. Graham Bell for 3, knocks it down. And he's really found his rhythm in the European League this season. Here's Trajan Jacob. Shot clock winding down, and Ralph Thomas Edwards has to shoot and knocks it down. Another 3 for the Bristol Flyers. It's raining triples right now.
Yeah, for a long while.
Oh, stolen away by the Flyers. And Trajan Jacob, you are cleared for takeoff. And he jams it in with a one-handed slam. And Bristol Flyers have really broken this game wide open in the fourth. Here's Dickerson once again, hands off, fakes the handoff from Reisenberry. Nice pass inside, and Dickerson out of control, just falling over. No foul called by the referees. Here's Ollison, step back 2, no good that time. But there's Graham Bell on the follow. Out of nowhere, just jams it in. And that will do it. Bristol Flyers, a historic first ever home win in European competition in a 12-point win over the Dutch side Lansdowne Hammers.
Yeah, certainly grounded out, didn't they? And then...
Well, an impressive win, Gareth, for Bristol Flyers. A moment of history, a first ever win in a very low-scoring game as well.
Yeah, just looking back on it, I think you must have had the highlights for every single basket on there. Look at the low-scoring game there, but yeah, I mean, it was you got to win in all sorts of ways, and that's the most important, stat line is getting the W, and they'll certainly take that, as you said, a bit of history there at SGSY's campus and getting that, well-deserved win at home in front of another full crowd.
And tip-off is just moments away now. Final thoughts from you. What will be the key messages coming in from Coach Kapoulas going into the first quarter? Because I'm sure they do not want to have a start like they did on Thursday against Manchester Giants.
No, that's right. And in European competition, they've always got off to good starts. And so he'll want to, certainly want to see a repeat of that, put that game behind them, and new campaign, new competition, I should say. Get out there, especially away from home. It's going to be difficult. Good start, build that momentum, and yeah, they every chance of winning the game.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Gareth. Well, we are all set for tip-off in the European North Basketball League. It's Bristol Flyers taking on Estonian side Tartu Ülikool, and tip-off is right after the break.
Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Ayy, cause I head tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Ayy, where the money at? Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but throw myself the mood. Che vuoi gira largo da me, non sai che oramai è finita con te. Tu sei quella che mi fa passare soltanto guai. Chi sei? Chi sei?
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
Good.
Naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. Then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club, in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, where Gareth and I have hot-footed it into commentary position for this ENBL matchup between the Bristol Flyers and Estonian side Tartu Ülikool. And Gareth, as both teams are going through their final preparations here, what do you think will be some of the keys for Coach Kapoulas' side? Because this Tartu team, they are a very tall team, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They got very capable bigs that like to stretch, that can shoot the basketball. Fundamentally, they'll be really sound, very active, creative guards. we've seen this quite a lot of European competition. Guards look to penetrate and then look to kick into the corner for those 3 shots. So, Coach Kapulis will be thorough with his coaching scout. I'm sure players will know what their objectives are, or the matchups, how they want to play this team, and also to impose themselves on this Estonian team. Look to push the ball, as always, attack the boards on the offensive glass, take care of business defensively, and see where that takes you.
And I know we spoke about the matchup between Brad Green and Aaron Menzies, but are there any other matchups out there that are sort of taking your fancy? Because, of course, figuring out how Bristol Flyers are going to stop Mark Rosenhall is going to be an exciting prospect.
Yeah, Rosenhall, Kitsing as well, has put up some good performances in this competition. So, yeah, I mean, just seeing how they match up on the floor and who's going to guard them. Obviously, Flyers, missing Tevin Olesen, so we always like to see Tevin play, but Trajan Jacob in some good form at the moment as well, really mixing up the way he's scoring the basketball. So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating encounter and a first taste of Estonian basketball.
Yeah, and it's always interesting, isn't it? I mean, seeing the different styles of leagues, the Estonian-Latvian league, seeing how that compares to the British Basketball League is again another exciting prospect.
Yeah, it is, and sort of touched on, you don't have that maybe influence from American, Canadian sort of basketball here, so it is a team full with Estonians and sort of that northern Eastern European countries. So we might see something a little different. The teams we played so far normally have a contingent of 3 or 4 Americans, and you kind of know sort of what you're going to get from that style of play. So seeing a team based on homegrown talent, I think it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Well, as the players get set to take the court, let's talk you through tonight's starting lineup, starting with the visitors, the Bristol Flyers, and it's CJ Jackson and Trajan Jacob in the backcourt. Rafael Thomas-Edwards, of course, had that 16-point game in the last time out in the ENBL against the Lansdowne Hammers. He's alongside Ravel Graham-Bell and Brad Green on the Flyers' front line. If you've missed the build-up, Tijon Lucas is in the squad tonight for Bristol Flyers. He will come off the bench for Coach Kapulis' side. And as we talk you through the starting 5 for the hosts, Tartu Ülikool, it's Mart Rosenhall alongside Rain Weideman, Robin Kiwi, Christian Kitsing, and Aaron Menzies playing in the middle. Well, it won't be long before we see the 2 big fellas going up for the jump ball here, and this is the matchup everyone's excited to see this evening. It's going to be Green and Menzies, who both go for the opening tip, which is won by the hosts, Tartu. Rosenthal, screen comes from Menzies. Rosenthal finds Weideman at the top of the 3-point line. Another screen comes from Menzies. Weideman going to the basket, off the glass, no good, and Menzies ends up tipping it to the hands of CJ Jackson. Graham Bell on the wing, looking top to Trajan Jacob. A screen comes from Green. Jacob rolling to the basket. They've left RGB wide open at the top of the 3-point line, and he can't convert from deep.
Yeah, nice patience on the first offense. Got a good look. RGB just unable to get them to go.
Well, the 3-pointer is good for Kitsing at the other end, and Tartu turning defense into offense.
Yeah, so Kitsing been on good form in the ENBL. He's a stretch 4, can certainly look to knock it down from behind the arc, and getting a first look and seeing that first one go down is going to build his confidence nicely.
Well, Jackson can't convert at the other end, and Flyers 0 for 2 from 3 early on in this game. Kiwi driving to the basket, is blocked by Green. I think he got a hand on that one. It's Jackson looking to push the other way. He draws the foul.
Oh, and he's gone over the side.
Over the top of the LED board as well. And good to see him quickly back to his feet, because that looked like a tough fall there, Gareth.
It did, yeah. It was a really tough play there. And I was just sort of watching him saying, to me it looked like he was trying to pass it off, but he was claiming for the shot and looking at the referee, and then that board came out of nowhere.
It
took him out.
That's one for the blooper reel at the end of the season. Well, CJ Jackson at the line, of course, he had 24 points, 6 assists on 4 for 8 shooting from 3 in the win over Polish side Start Lublin in the ENBL. Of course, he's only been with the Flyers for a few weeks now, with the absence, of key players in the backcourt, and has slowly started to settle into this Bristol Flyers team.
Yeah, exactly, and having him in the squad with the injuries that have sort of been coming, sort of in and out, and with Ollison now out for a little bit of a time as well, it's important member of the squad, and yeah, some key contributions for sure.
Oh, Rosenthal was unable to go coast to coast at the other end. It will stay for a Tartu ball on the baseline. Last touch by Brad Green. It's going to be Kitsing to inbound. Has to get it in here. Nice pass inside in the end. It's blocked by Jacob, but a foul is called. And that will send Tartu back to the line. Chance to put them on top by 5.
Smart play there, just kind of quite easy getting in the paint underneath the basket, and once you sort of pick up the ball there, you're a little bit in trouble defensively, and getting the contact, and finds himself going to the line for a pair of free throws.
Well, it will be Rain Vitamin at the line, 32-year-old 6'4" combo guard from Estonia. He had 21 points in Tartu's opening win over Spartak Pluvin in the ENBL. We were just talking about this off air, Gareth, but you look at Tartu's results over fellow teams in Group A, you look at Bristol's results over other teams in Group A, very, very similar scorelines.
Yeah, they look like well matched in terms of results and the teams that they've played. Just the 2 games for Tartu though, and Flyers, this is their 5th game, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's stolen by Jacob. Good hands, and Trajan Jacob goes coast to coast and puts it in for the Flyers' first field goal of the game. Kiwi, top to Rosenthal. Screen comes from Menzies. Another one comes from Kitsing. Menzies fighting for position inside, ends up setting a screen for Kiwi, and it's poked away by Rowell Graham-Bell.
Yeah, Flyers having quite a lot of luck actually, just tapping the ball away, getting some stills active hands, picked off a few balls.
CJ Jackson goes all the way underneath and pulls out for a shot from the short corner. Again, can't convert. And Flyers cold from the field early in this game. Rosenthal, deep 2. He's fouled and count it. And he will get the line for a 3-point play. And that's something, Gareth, if you're a coach coaching, basketball, junior basketball in particular, one thing you tell the kids is not to foul a jump shooter, and it didn't look like much contact there in the end, but a foul was called.
Yeah, you're right there, Joe. It didn't look like an awful lot of contact, but the referee there, again, that's something else. I think in this competition, you get 2 referees from the local league and 1 external, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
So again, you're just sort of managing your referees and how they view the game as well. But that one did look a little soft, but it was called. So that's something they'll have to get used to. But that looks like some contact on the flip side there.
Well, Vitamin's layup no good, and here come the Flyers the other way. Here's that one-on-one matchup between Green and Menzies. Green backing down, turnaround hook off the glass. A couple of bounces off the rim, but no good for him.
Yeah, Menzies doing a good job. That was a very difficult shot from Brad Green. Get him away from the basket. Not an easy shot to make.
Rosenthal, top to Menzies at the elbow. They kick it out. Kiwi drives inside. Kiwi against Raf Thomas Edwards, looking to go inside. Fakes it once, twice, puts it up, no good. And the offensive rebound is gathered in by Kitsing, but he throws it out of bounds. Gareth, has been a poor start for the Flyers on the offensive end. Just 2 for 6. Sorry, not 2 for 6. 1 for 6 from the field so far in this game. They're getting good looks. They've missed a couple of threes as well. They're getting good looks, just not seeming to drop early in this one.
Yeah, not in any kind of, doesn't feel they've managed to get much rhythm at the moment. Let's give some good defense from the Estonian team as well. So give them credit for that. Nothing easy.
Thomas Edwards thought about the 3, puts it on the floor and just lifts his pivot foot, and that'll be a turnover for the Flyers for the travel. And you see it here on the replay. He just lifts his pivot foot up before he puts the ball down on the floor. Rosenthal. 3-pointer on the way, no good that time. An offensive rebound almost gathered in by Menzies, but picked off by Jackson. Here's Graham Bell going to the basket, puts it in and count it. And he will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Yeah, you can always trust RGB if things are getting a bit sticky offensively. You know, sure to make something happen there and gets the ANB1 finish. But yeah, slow start, just the 4 points in coming up to 5 minutes of basketball.
It was a low-scoring game against the Lansted Hammers a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, you look at Lansted on the offensive end; they were getting really good looks against the Flyers, just couldn't seem to drop. And sort of a similar start here for the Bristol Flyers, although RGB can knock down the foul shot to make it a 2-point game.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to, it's early days, just some early exchanges, just a sort of good look at your opponents, really, just try and settle down and get some rhythm.
Another 3-pointer on the way, puts it in, Kitsing for 3.
And that's great ball movement, finding the open man in the corner. Kitsing knocking that one down.
A couple of back-to-back threes for him so far in this game. He is a deep threat from beyond the arc. 6 for 9 from downtown in their ENBL win over Lansted. Thomas Edwards' 3 is no good. Long rebound falls to RGB. Green. They're going to go to work inside. Brad Green likes this matchup. Can't convert, but scoops in the offensive rebound. And it's going to be a foul called.
Could be an interesting call there. Just, I
think it's going to be a foul called on Reynolds Malmanis, I believe.
Was it Brad Green? No, it is going to be, yeah, on the Estonia Tartu player. Timeout called.
Well, 5-point game early in this one, midway through the first period, Gareth, and it's been slow between the two teams so far in this one. I mean, it's gone back and forth, and Flyers just unable to really get it going early on in this game.
Yeah, both teams are sort of slowing it down, obviously, like the Flyers look to get those defensive rebounds, look to push the ball in transition, try and get themselves going that way. But yeah, playing the half-court game, sort of suiting the home team at the moment. Flyers unable to get any sort of rhythm going.
What do you think Coach Kapoulas will be saying to the team in this timeout now? Do you feel that will sort of get their offense going a bit in this rest of this first quarter?
Yeah, I'm sure from the sideline he'll be looking at how they're setting up defensively and offensively, and trying to find some opportunities to try and get some easier looks, or maybe just switch up an offense to kind of see someone different, or another opportunity, different look. But obviously it's still very much early days. Just tell his team just to settle down and just build themselves up into the game.
Kitsing leads the way for Tartu with 6 points so far in this game. He's 2 for 2 from beyond the 3-point line, and he's had some great looks at those 2 triples as well.
Yeah, that's it from there. Those triples that come in, that's they've been wide open, so really well executed offensive sets. And again, Coach Kapoulas will making notes of that and kind of figuring out where that broke down, and to be aware of that, particularly when it's key shooters in the corner that are left with that amount of time to knock down a 3.
Well, it's going to be Royal Graham Bell to inbound from the baseline. Gets it into Green. Jackson guarded closely by Rosenthal. Here's Green. Looking to back down Malmanis. Nice move inside for Brad Green. Can't get it to go though. And it's rebounded by Kitsing.
Yeah, a bit of a mismatch there. Obviously the Estonian team quite happy with that matchup though. Did well defensively, keeping Brad Green making it as difficult for him as possible, and unable to get off the glass.
Rosenthal again, Kitsing another 1 for 3. This time is short, and that is his first missed 3-pointer of the game. Thomas Edwards looking to push. Reverse layup, can't get it to go. Gathers in his own rebound though. Now here's Graham Bell, fires up for 3. And again, Flyers, a good look on the offensive end, just can't knock it down.
Yeah, they just look a little bit sluggish to me, sort of getting back and sort of pushing the ball a little bit. You just feel they're not quite into the, like you mentioning, rhythm, but you just feel that, they're just not quite up to that sort of speed and pace that we're used to seeing.
Well, Leslie Smith checks into the game. Brad Green takes a seat. And Leslie Smith has been a man in form right now. He had 9.6 rebounds at the bench in the win over Lansted Hammers. He had a huge game in the win over Sheffield Sharks in the British Basketball League. Oh, nice move. Off the glass, can't convert though. Rosenthal comes up short. As both teams now deep into their second unit. Oh, caught napping on the defensive end, and Ralph Thomas-Edwards says thank you very much.
Yeah, Trajan Jacob with good look there, just firing that one into a wide open Ralph Thomas-Edwards. Both defenders completely lost him and able to put that one away.
Another three-pointer on the way, can't get it to go this time. Long rebound, falls to the hands of Tartu. Here's Rosenthal. Nice pass inside. Malmanis puts it in, and the foul. And he will go to the line for a bonus.
Yeah, another round one, simple sort of pick and roll there. Defensively, just late to get across. Trajan Jacob just putting his hand in and giving the opportunity for a bonus point.
That's a very simple, offensive set there. Just simple pick and roll. It's, we've seen different styles of basketball, but this Tartu team likes to run a lot of pick and roll, and that's going to be crucial how Bristol Flyers defend this going forward.
Yeah, I mean pick and roll is a great offense because there's so many things you can sort of run out of it, and it's how defensively you're going to sort of play against that pick and roll. And good players with fundamentals will see, will read the defense and then look to play out of it. But that was a very basic pick and roll and a good finish.
Well, Tijon Lucas straight into the game and able to draw the foul. And that is a sight for Flyers fans to see, because Tijon Lucas hasn't been in the Bristol Flyers roster since early November after picking up that injury against the Surrey Scorchers. And instant impact for him, Gareth, getting himself a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost the spark they need to get going. You just feel it needs something just to... we've seen it in previous games. There's been a massive dunk and just really lifts the team, and they build off that energy. So having Trajan Lucas coming in, and Coach Capoulas were hoping that he gives them a bit of a lift, bit of a spark to settle down and to offensively get a few things happening.
Well, you imagine he will be on a minutes restriction, of course, because he has missed quite a few games in the British Basketball League. But certainly great to see him back out there on the floor. Rosenthal gets defender off the feet, and it's going to be a foul call on the floor. Basket will not count.
And it's there's no sort of you can't replicate actually playing basketball here, and it'll just take him a little bit of time to get back in. He said it's been a long layoff really, and just to get to the speed of the game. And so expectation-wise, you said minutes and just getting up to where he was. It's going to take some time to have that come back. So, but like I said, great to see him out there, an instant impact.
Well, Mark Rosenthal at the line, 6'5" point guard. He spent the majority of his playing career with Tartu. He had a 2-year spell in the league with Parnu Sadam in the Latvian Estonian league before going back to Tartu. And he certainly has proven to be their league MVP this season, leading from the front. He's the team's leading scorer as well. And he takes a well-earned break on the bench.
Yep, 2 minutes 56 in this first quarter. Give himself a bit of a break, whether he'll see out the rest of the quarter and then have a lengthy spell just sat and get refreshed for that second quarter.
Lucas finds Smith. Now Thomas Edwards back top to Tijon Lucas. Shot clock's at 6. Tijon Lucas step back for 3 off the back iron, and again the Flyers remain cold from downtown, now 0 for 6 from behind the arc.
Loose pass on the fast break, looking for that corner 3. Pass wasn't right, wasn't there. Bit of a sloppy turnover.
6-point lead for the hosts. Here's Samuels. Smith looking to hand off with Thomas Edwards, that finds Tijon Lucas instead. Lucas looking to turn the corner, drives into a triple team. Nice pass out to Ralph Thomas Edwards, and he knocks down the first triple of the game.
Yeah, and there's Lucas, talk about his creativity. Took 3 defenders with him, kind of wrapped around the pass to a wide open Ralph Thomas Edwards, who knocks down. Is that the first 3 of the game for the Flyers?
Yeah, first triple of the game for Coach Capoulas' side. Boy, did they need that. It's a 3-point game late in the first. Shundle drives baseline, kicks it back out. Elmay has nowhere to go. Shundle is blocked by Smith. It's going to be a shot clock violation.
Good defense. So back-to-back good offense, good defense, looking to build a little bit of momentum.
And And just over 100 seconds to go in this first quarter. Flyers have struggled from deep, but doing well to hang in there. It's a very low scoring quarter on our hands so far. Here's Corey Samuels, brings it up over the timeline. Finds Green. Green looking for Jackson, hands off with him. Here comes the screen from Brad Green. Jackson looking to drive inside. Kicks it out to Lucas, stolen away by Tatu, but Lucas does well to get it back. Now here's Brad Green, fakes it, puts it up, unable to get it to go, but will be 2 free throws coming up for him.
Yeah, good recovery from that. Kind of pass over the top. And Brad Green, right as the time was running out, unable to get it to go.
And how was he not finished that one, Gareth?
I know it kind of feels like it's easy, but it's not. You know, when you're out there sort of doing that sort of thing, and yeah, I'm sure he'd have backed himself all the time for that, but that'd have been nice to have had the and-one play.
Well, it will send Brad Green to the free throw line. He's been a double-double machine all season long for the Bristol Flyers. In the British Basketball League this season, he's averaging 12 points and 9.4 rebounds per game. He leads the British Basketball League in rebounds per game. And what an addition he's been to Coach Kapoulis' side this season.
Yeah, certainly has. And it's something that I've sort of talked about over the years, of just having a legitimate big man that's got good post-up moves, good fundamentals, and Brad Green's that guy. Really excited to see him play in Bristol, and really living up to his billing.
He cut it down to a 2-point game with just over a minute to go in the first. Tassa finds his teammate at the elbow, and Malmanis can't convert, and it's taken away by Bristol Flyers. Here's Samuels. Screen comes from Leslie Smith. Samuels looking to go to the basket. Brad Green soaring for the rebound, can't get it to go. Here's Weideman. Malmanis driving inside, kicks it out to Weideman for 3, can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound for Malmanis. New 14 for Tartu. That's a moving screen on the offensive end from Malmanis. And that was an easy call to make in the end.
Yeah, fairly straightforward. Referee was right there.
You see just shuffling his feet as the screen came along. And we've seen that called a lot in the British Basketball League this season. The officials really clamping down on it, but once you do set that screen, it's important to keep those feet planted, and any kind of movement off to the left or the right will be called as a foul every time.
Yeah, it is, and Lucas did the right thing, just kind of playing on that. He kind of knew there's a bit of movement, so dare I say, help the referee with his decision as well.
Well, there will be a second personal foul on Ronaldo Malmanis, so Aaron Menzies will come back into the game. So over 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, and about 2 seconds differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Lucas, screen from Green. Lucas looking to split the defense and does well to draw the foul.
And that's what he does bring, is puts his defenders on an awful lot of pressure there. Great screen, and just looking behind and was waiting for that contact. Knew it was coming. And finds himself going to the line to tie things up.
That's the one thing we've missed, the Bristol Flyers this season. Having that pick and roll option with Tejon Lucas and Brad Green. I feel like, when Tejon Lucas is on the floor, it almost brings out the best in Brad Green as well this season.
Yeah, it adds a very different dimension, because he's so aggressive going to the basket, and got the tricky, the crossovers, the dribble, the handle there as well. It just puts extra pressure on defenders, and you're looking to help then, because if your fellow defender gets beat, you want to try and help, and that just kind of opens up a bit more space.
Ball into Menzies, who jams it in on the buzzer, and that is the perfect way for Tartu to end the first quarter. They lead 16 points to 13 after the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, what a way to finish that first quarter. Menzies coming on late in that first quarter, and a massive dunk to elevate this end of quarter period.
Well, that is the first 10 minutes in the book here at Tartu. And Gareth, it's been a slow start for Bristol Flyers, but they're still right there in this one. so far in the game. And considering the poor start they've had, how pleased do you think Coach Kapoulis will be with the way his side has started this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's been a poor. They've managed it. They were a little bit sluggish, but I think Lucas coming in has added a little bit more of a dimension to the game, so that'll be pleasing for them. That they said the game's everything's to play for. They're just adjusting to the home team, and there's good signs of good basketball. Good to want to see Brad Green get a little bit more involved. He's had a few sort of what you feel mismatches down low and take advantage of that, and that'll just free up a bit of perimeter play as well.
And from the Bristol Flyers' point of view, just 1 for 7 from behind the 3-point line so far in this game. The only 3 coming really when that drive from Tejon Lucas, where he's able to draw in 3 defenders to kick it out to an open Raf Thomas Edwards.
Yeah, exactly. That's really that open play coming from the creativity of the guard, where you see Tartu moving the ball around and their offense getting wide open looks in the corner. So very different ways of getting open, and Flyers struggling behind the arc as you rightly said. So we're hoping for some better shooting from the Flyers and try and claw back this deficit.
Well, it's been a very low-scoring first quarter. If you just joined us, Flyers, they are led by 5 points from captain Raf Thomas Edwards. Of course, we've seen Tejon Lucas return to the game. He's played 3.5 minutes so far in this one, and it'll be interesting to see how many minutes he gets, on his first game back from injury here tonight.
Yeah, and that'll be sort of the temptation, won't it, as a coach, if he's playing well, to keep him out there, but need to be mindful that he is coming back from injury, and it's not necessarily that injury as well. It's not playing and your other parts of the body getting used to being on court in competitive basketball as well, just to manage those minutes.
Of course, don't forget Flyers, they are back in action again on Friday night. They head off to the Sheffield Sharks, which is live on Sky Sports, and that is the final game for them before Christmas. Then on the 28th of December, they travel to the Leicester Riders. You can catch that game over on the British Basketball League YouTube channel for free. Second quarter action underway. Here's Brad Green. Finds Lucas. Another screen comes from Green. Lucas to the basket. Nice move from Tejon Lucas. Just dances his way inside.
Yeah, that's classic Lucas, isn't it, really? That's exactly the sort of moves he was making before his injury, so it's great to see him come back with those, especially when his team need that offensive spark.
Oh, it's a sideline out of bounds as the player just steps on the sideline, and it's good to see that he applies even in Estonia as well, because we've seen that countless times in the British Basketball League.
I think there was 1 or 2 seasons where it was won every game, I think, at SGS. We've not seen it quite as much recently, but there was certainly that a season or 2 where every game it would be almost exactly the same position.
Yeah. Here's Brad Green looking to hand off with Jackson. Fakes the handoff, but finds Tejon Lucas. Lucas looking to drive inside. Nice move, and Tejon Lucas again able to get the shot off. Last touched by the Flyers, say the official. So it will go a trickle out of play for a Tartu ball. Yeah, you can see it just come off the hand of Brad Green there.
Yeah, no complaints from Brad Green. Flyers looking to push up defensively, put a bit of pressure on this back court of Tartu.
Elmay kicks it inside to Green. Weideman fires up from deep, can't get it to go. Rebound falls into the hands of CJ Jackson. Jackson looking to push. Menzies gets called for the foul, and CJ Jackson will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and that is a good, interesting dynamic, really, with the back court with CJ and Lucas, two point guards playing that 1 and 2 spot, both taking in turns of bringing the ball up, and Jackson showing his capabilities of getting to the bucket, getting a bit of contact.
And it'll be interesting to see how, Tejon Lucas and CJ Jackson sort of link up together here, because, of course, the Flyers, they brought in CJ Jackson as injury cover for Tejon Lucas, and they almost play the same position, so it'll be interesting to see just how they link up on the court.
Yeah, exactly, and they wouldn't have played an awful lot because of the injury maybe in the last couple of weeks, while Lucas has been coming back from his injury, get to sort of find out a little bit more about each other, how they play, but I'm sure Coach Kapoulis will have some ideas and they'll figure it out themselves. But have that capability of two really good ball handlers and able to create like that is very welcome, particularly as Ollison set for a stretch on the sideline.
Well, Jackson gives the Flyers their very first lead of this game at 1. 8 minutes 30 to go in the second. Menzies is wide open inside, blows the reverse layup, and it's rebounded by Green. Jackson thought about the three. Here's Trajan Jacob, takes a screen from Brad Green. He's up wide open from downtown. Offensive rebound by Green. The turnaround hook is good for the big fella inside.
Yeah, and that is a difficult shot. Not much space there between the outstretched Menzies with his arms up there, but Brad Green managed to get it through.
Shundle fakes the mid-range two, gets Samuels on his feet and knocks it down.
Yeah, nice shot fake and finish.
It's the first field goal of the game for Shundle out there tonight. Cuts it down to a 1-point lead for the Bristol Flyers. Jacob going to drive inside, pulls it back out though. Extra pass to Leslie Smith from downtown. And again, Flyers can't convert from deep. Here's Shundle looking to push in transition. The three-pointer is up and splashes it from downtown. And Elmay drains it. Jackson. Screen comes from Green. Jackson again turns the corner. Kicks it out to Trajan Jacob. Shot clock's down to 6. Samuels looking to drive baseline and gets called for the travel. Again, it's another turnover for the Bristol Flyers. It's their seventh, no, not their 7th turnover. It's their 2nd turnover of the game so far in this one. They forced 6 turnovers from Tartu. Here's Kiwi to inbound to get us back underway. Rosenthal. Guarded by Trajan Jacob. Shundle at the three-point line. Pulls it back out, looking for Menzies inside. Good hands by the Flyers, and they force another turnover for Tartu. It's going to stay with the Bristol Flyers. It was knocked away by Shundle. Surprised the foul wasn't called in there as well, potentially.
That's right. Coach could have seemed reasonably happy with that. So normally, if he felt something wasn't his way, but yeah, it did look like a bit of contact. Slow it down, but still remains Flyers ball.
I'm sure we had a much better angle of that than we do through the screen in Bristol. Here's Jackson. Screen comes from Leslie Smith. Jackson uses it. Again, uses the screen, pulls up for a mid-range floater, no good, and it's rebounded by Menzies.
Yeah, just not much sort of action really. It seemed a lot of one-on-one at the moment, dribbling, trying to attack the basket. You see Tartu just sort of moving the ball around a little bit better offensively, looking for those opportunities to get better looks.
Here's Rosenthal, shot clock down to 5. Guarded by Roel Graham-Bell, he has nowhere to go. Tartu have to shoot here with the shot clock winding down. And Shundle gets it to go with a floater.
Yeah, running lefty floater there.
Oh, Roel Graham-Bell answers back at the other end. And end-to-end stuff. It's a 2-point game up in Tartu. Almost stripped away by Trajan Jacob. Here's Rosenthal coming off the screen from Menzies. Pulls up for a mid-range 2 and draws the foul.
Yeah, smart play. Again, almost knew the contact was going to come from behind. Almost just checked, stopped himself on a dime, went up for the jumper, got the nudge in the back.
Well, Aaron Menzies will take a seat for Tartu. As Mark Rosenthal earns himself another trip to the free throw line, where he's 75% from the charity stripe this season in the Latvian Estonian League. He knocks down the second as well. Pushes the lead out to 4. Here's Corey Samuels, picks up his dribble, has nowhere to go and ends up falling over the back court. Gets it to Roel Graham Bell though. Oh, what a move, and Graham Bell will gut the line and shoot two.
Yeah, lovely Euro step from RGB. Just see great angle here.
You see the frustration after the foul as well, because I'm sure he felt like he could have finished that one at the end of the foul.
Yeah, difficult shot sort of coming from the left-hand side. Your right hand trying to sort of scoop it from underneath the basket almost, but puts him on the line.
Brad Green will return to the game as Leslie Smith takes a seat. And interesting response that from Coach Kapoulis. You know, as Aaron Menzies comes out of the game, the Flyers look to bring Brad Green into the game. Yeah,
they try and take advantage. But having said that, in the first quarter, did a good job when Menzies was out. Brad Green not dominating like we've seen him in other games.
Flyers 6 for 12 from the free throw line so far in this game. Make that 7 for 13. In tight games like that, this is where the game can be won and lost. Here's Rosenthal. Takes the screen from Ervik all the way to the hole. Nice move.
Yeah, just opened up lovely for him. Sort of be one man, and then he was in a massive space all on his own just to lay it home.
Samuels beats the defender, kicks it inside to Green. Green with a reverse layup, can't finish. There's Thomas Edwards on the follow. And that is Bristol Flyers basketball right there, Gareth.
Exactly. We've waited a little while for some good classic Bristol Flyers offensive rebounds, and Ralph Thomas Edwards with the putback.
Shundle. Open three-pointer for Keevy, and he knocks it down. And Coach Kapoulis looks to call a timeout, because Tartu Ülikool are threatening to run away with the lead here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and we talk about how Bristol Flyers, what they go to, and Tartu with that corner three ball, always looking for that option. Players waiting patiently in that bit of space, wait for the creativity, wait for the reverse pass. When they're open, they'll knock it down.
Just a quick look down the box score so far in this game. Ralph Thomas Edwards, 7 points so far in this game. Roel Graham Bell with 6 points so far in this game. But you look at the rebound count, and Flyers, again, out-rebounded by 2 so far from Tartu. And that's usually where they do their damage, is winning those battles of the boards.
Yeah, and I'm sure that'll be a big part of their scouting report as well. I'm sure any team playing the Bristol Flyers, if you can manage the rebounds and put up a good performance, defensive rebounds, and keeping Flyers away, you will limit a good sort of scoring percentage, if you like, from the Bristol Flyers. They do get a lot of second chance points.
Well, if you just joined us, it was 16 points to 13 at the end of the first quarter. Flyers have been held to just 11 points so far in the second. It's been a very, very low-scoring game out in Estonia. And as this game rolls on, if you feel like the low scoring of this game continues, which team do you feel like this sort of favours going into the halftime break?
You'd probably fancy the home team, really, if I'm being honest. I mean, they can sort of control. They look like they're playing better team basketball offensively. Flyers are a little bit one-on-one for the majority of the time. So, slowing the pace down of the Flyers will certainly, I think, suit them. But I'm just looking at the stats about Trajan Jacob. Just 2 points for 10 minutes. Been very quiet so far for the Bristol Flyers.
They're stolen away, trying to get the ball into Brad Green in the post. And here comes Rosenthal the other way. Three-pointer is up. Ball goes in and out. And the rebound secured by Samuels. Samuels pushing in transition, nowhere to go. And he picks up the foul there. He just fell out of bounds.
Yeah, very aggressive on the trap. Sort of getting offensively, sort of dribbling into the corner. A great opportunity to try and trap the ball between the sideline and the halfway line. Just a little bit too aggressive, but Corey's almost got himself in a bit of trouble there, but a bit too aggressive defensively.
It's going to be Thomas Edwards to inbound. 4 minutes and change to go in the first half out in Estonia. Here's Samuels. Samuels loses it. It's knocked loose by Rosenthal, so it won't be an over and back. Here's Graham Bell now. Shot clock's at 6. Green looking for it inside, ends up with him. Double team comes. It's going to be a foul called on Ervik on the entry pass.
Yeah, referee with the high knee signal. You don't see that very often. Bit of a knee to the back, or a knee in the back of the leg maybe. Just trying to force Brad Green as far away from the basket as you can. It's a tough job. Need to use every bit of leverage to try and move him.
Oh, here he is, gets it into Samuels. Samuels looking to drive inside, takes the contact, no foul given. Offensive rebound by Green. Graham Bell looking to back down. You know where this is going. Oh, it was going to go to Thomas Edwards. And in that situation, Gareth, he always goes for a turnaround fadeaway. And surprisingly, he didn't on that occasion. I don't think Thomas Edwards realised where it was going either. I think he thought the same as I did. Here's Rosenthal up over the half court, guarded by Samuels. Kiwi. Shundle coming off the screen, looking to drive baseline, kicks it out. Rosenthal's wide open for three, and it comes off the back iron.
Another nice look from Tartu, moving the ball around.
Nice pass into Brad Green. He blows the layup, but gets the second chance opportunity. And Brad Green just padding out his offensive rebounding stats there, Gareth.
Yeah, I put my hand on my head then when he missed that one. Luckily right there to pick up the offensive rebound, but yeah.
As a former big man yourself, I imagine, you know, it's gifted to you on a plate there. It's almost, you can't miss in that situation, but we've seen these things happen before.
Yeah, we saw a bit earlier on, he's sort of missing a fairly, one we'd expect him to put away, and sometimes you think, oh yeah, this is an easy back on defense, and then you just sort of lose concentration, but luckily he was quick to the mistake. Probably knew straight away as soon as it came out of his hand that felt different, or that doesn't feel like that's going to go, and was able to react and get it back. But yeah, lucky to get a second chance opportunity.
Well, important 3 minutes and change coming up here, because you feel like whichever team could go on a run here could really create some separation going into the halftime break. And in a low-scoring game like this, a 5-point lead, it just feels like a 10-point lead almost.
Yeah, it's very similar to the home game against Hammers, wasn't it? It was kind of felt very similar to this, where a game of runs up and down, and Flyers eventually coming away victorious in that game, but this has got a very sort of similar feel to it.
It's just figuring out a way, I think, how to break down their defense, and on the Flyers' case, it's just how to start knocking some shots down. Because you look down at the 3-point field goal percentage right now for Bristol, just 1 for 9. I mean, Tartu, they are 3 for 10. You feel like whichever team can start knocking down some triples at a bit of a higher rate, the game's right there for them.
Yeah, I'd say Tartu have kind of created the better opportunity. It looks like
it's stolen by Jacob, and sorry to interrupt you there, Gareth, because Jacob blows the dunk at the other end. Can you believe it? It'll be a new 14 for the Flyers, though, as Thomas Edwards kicks it out to Samuels. Samuels will look to fire up for 3 off the back iron, and Flyers' 3-point struggles continue in this game.
Yeah, I'd say it's Tartu sort of creating the better looks, I think, from beyond the arc. They've not been knocking them down, but they've been, cleaner looks, if you like, where Flyers are forcing it a little bit, I feel.
Here's Menzies looking to go to work inside, puts it up, puts it in. And Aaron Menzies with the bucket gets his tally up to 4. Five-point lead for Tartu. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's knocked loose by Kiwi. Flyers will inbound with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Ball into Samuels. Screen from Green. Shot clock down to 6. Trajan Jacob has to go to work here. Beats the defender, floats it up. Hits nothing on the offensive end. You don't see that very often. Bristol Flyers on the offensive end have just gone completely cold in this second quarter.
Yeah, Trajan Jacob just a little bit out of sorts. You kind of wonder if he's feeling okay within himself, but yeah, he just doesn't seem to have what we'd expect from him. Very high standards, getting involved with the game. Just not quite the races for him today.
Here's Rosenthal, kicks it out. So wide open 3 for Roos, who can't convert, but an offensive rebound for Menzies. Rosenthal again left open for 3, and this time makes no mistakes from downtown.
Yeah, a bit of a breakdown defensively. Got caught between two offensive players. Kicked the open man and, yeah, knocking that one down. But it's not the first time they've created those good looks from beyond the arc.
We've seen a couple of breakdowns on the offensive end for Bristol Flyers. I mean, you've seen Trajan Jacob miss a dunk, then you see him airball a floater, and just careless mistakes, really. We don't see that too often at all for Flyers on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's why I'm just sort of speculating. Sometimes it could be illness or something. It just feels the energy is maybe not quite there than what we would normally expect, and it might not be anything to do with that, but you just feel the energy levels aren't quite what they normally are.
Well, it's been a tight game throughout the first half here in Estonia. This lead for Tartu matches their biggest lead of the game at 8. Flyers have led by as many as 3. And plenty of work for Bristol Flyers to do going into the second half if they want to keep their 100% record away from home alive in the European North Basketball League.
And one thing you can count on is very rarely the Bristol Flyers won't go down without a fight. You know they'll be in and around it come the end of the game.
Well, it's going to be Flyers ball to get us back underway. Just over a minute and a half to go in this first half. Here's Thomas Edwards. Jacob. Back to Ruel Graham-Bell. The offense just broken down here. Green hands off with Samuels. Samuels looking to go to work. Kicks it out. Graham-Bell's wide open and ball just slips through the hands of Green. And another careless turnover for Bristol Flyers on the offensive end.
Yeah, again, just a bit careless. Actually created a really good look. Move the ball around, albeit I think a good proportion of that offense was very slow with those ball reversals, and Tartu just fell asleep themselves there, but ball slipped through Brad Green's fingers.
Chance for Tartu to make it a 10-point lead in the last minute of the first half. Rosenthal, nowhere to go, gets called for a travel, and the ball will go back to the Flyers. You see it just on the edge of your screen, he's just shuffling his feet. Double team comes from Corey Samuels. It's knocked loose on the inbounds pass. Flyers will get another chance at it here. Under a minute to go in the second quarter.
Corey Samuels. One thing's for certain, Corey won't mind having a little chat in someone's ear.
Well, there's always words being exchanged on the court, and Corey Samuels seems to be at the front of those.
He's in the mix, isn't he?
45 seconds to go in the first half. Graham-Bell looking to go baseline, kicks out to Thomas Edwards. Looking inside for Graham-Bell once again, and the ball comes off the foot. It will be a new 14 for the Flyers, and they will inbound from the baseline. Trajan Jacob to inbound. Finds Graham-Bell. Extra pass to Samuels. Guarded by Rosenthal. Samuels coming off the screen. Skips it out to Jacob. Shot clock down to 5. Jacob has to go to work. Looks to fire up a 3 off the front iron. Couldn't get the friendly roll. And it will stay for a Bristol Flyers ball. Last touch by Tartu. I think you can see it here on the replay. It looks like it came off a Tartu player, and don't forget they do have the IRS here in the ENBL, so they can get a chance to look at that if they want to. Here's Jacob coming off the screen. Fakes it, looking for Green inside. Nice pass inside to the big fella, and he gets it to go off the glass.
Yeah, nice play from Trajan. Hopefully that'll get him going a little bit. Good individual play. Finding Brad Green. Able to put that one away first time. And Tartu calling the timeout.
Last possession now of the first half. It's been a very low scoring first half. This game still can go either way. And you feel that whichever team can really go on that. We've never really seen either team go on that run like we have in other games. You know, you've seen teams like Flyers go on like a 5, 6, 7-0 run. We haven't really seen that from either team. It's gone blow for blow so far in this game.
Yeah, a couple of games of runs, but it's only been a few points in it. But yeah, 11.6 seconds of this first half. Just the 28 points for the Bristol Flyers. And Tartu only slightly ahead on 34. So again, another sort of big defensive battle going on.
See Coach Caputo's here in his timeout. What do you think would be the topic of conversation in this chat right now, Gareth?
I'm just trying to kind of see what he's certainly energy. I mean, I'm sure the importance of getting a positive bit of play or defensive set to go into the half time. Talk with a little bit of momentum, end up on a high will be important. So it looked like he was just telling them the importance of these last sort of 10 seconds of this first half. Remain fully concentrated.
Well, it's going to be Rosenthal to inbound from the baseline. 11.6 seconds to go in this first half. Kiwi. 5 seconds to go. Into Rosenthal. Has to go to work. Pulls up for 3. Drains the 3 as the buzzer expires. And that is the perfect way for Tartu to end this first half. They are on top, 37 points to 28. And Gareth and I will be right back with you after this short break to break down all the action from the first half.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
Good.
Naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And then you would get more and more adventurous. And you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Cause I head tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Where the money at? Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but don't mess up the mood.
Eleven started as a vending machine idea that would hold spaces for local products and startups, but over time it's developed into a lot more. The more we learn about the impact that we can have on the local community is the more that we've brainstormed new ways on how to add value to the brands that we represent. It's important for us to use the platform to create opportunities in the lives of real people. We really can't wait for the future at Eleven to unfold, and we look forward to you joining us on the journey.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, where at the halftime break, it is the hosts Tartu Ülikool who lead the Bristol Flyers 37 points to 28. I'm joined by former Bristol Flyers captain Gareth Till to talk us through the action from the first half. And Gareth, it's been a very low-scoring first half, but that 3-pointer on the buzzer from Rosenthal really has created that separation at the break.
Yeah, they've come up. Tartu have come up with some big plays at the end of both quarters. Menzies with the huge dunk to end the first quarter, and then that big three-point play at the end. So, you know, it seems that they're making, you know, the tough plays when it counts, and that's creating that separation. Bristol Flyers are sort of hanging around there, but you just feel they're a little step off the pace is kind of my general overall feeling for that first half. So really need some energy to come alive in that second half if they're going to win this game.
Yeah, Rosenthal leads the way with 13 points and 4 rebounds for Tartu. He's the only player in the game that's on double figures. Flyers are led by Raf Thomas-Edwards, who has 7 points. Brad Green also 7 points and 5 rebounds. And how interested are you found that matchup between him and Aaron Menzies inside? Because that's something we really built up in the pre-game.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a battle inside. Really. Yeah. It's not been the classic kind of matchup that we maybe would have hoped for. And in fact, they've kind of matched up. You know, we've seen Menzies go off and Green go up against other defenders as well. They've done a pretty good job. So we've not seen Brad maybe dominate quite as well as we have seen him in British Basketball League and other European games as well. So, you know, plenty for him to do in the second half.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the story from the first half. And as you say, it was a very low-scoring first quarter, Gareth. But it was nothing really separating the teams early on. It was 16-13 to Tartu after the first period. And either team could really get anything going from behind the three-point line. But some great ball movement here from the host, Tartu.
Yeah, Tartu certainly created better three-point opportunities. We saw them knocking those two down. You just see the amount of space that the shooters were in. You know, been able to knock down those shots where Flyers have been a little bit more forced from behind the arc and just shooting 1 for 11, so 9%. And this is the 9% right there. So it has been a bit of a struggle shooting-wise for the Flyers.
And he's Aaron Menzies with the big dunk to end the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, we saw T. John Lucas inserted into the action. And this is a welcome sign for Bristol Flyers fans. This is exactly what he does best down the lane.
Yeah, a lot of creativity, a lot of good individual play. They're making some tough plays and putting pressure on defenders, which will free up, you know, other players on your team, your teammates. But obviously, as we mentioned, restricted minutes. Certainly, the last we want to see is, you know, him push it too much and then have another spell on the sidelines out injured. So, you know, Coach Kapula sort of almost resisting that temptation to keep him in the action.
Yeah, he's played just under 5 minutes. In fact, he's played so far in this game. You probably think he'll have around 10, maybe just over 10 minutes a game, you know, in this one. And that's what you need to do really when you return a player from injury like that. You can't be throwing him into the action with the heavy minutes.
No, exactly. It's all managing that workload and just building him up slowly to where he's confident. Said the last thing you want is to push it early doors and to find yourself out for another couple of weeks or even worse still, months. So doing the right thing, and you know, there's a great medical staff at the Bristol Flyers, so I'm sure they'll be monitoring that very carefully.
Yeah. What will Coach Kapoulas be saying to the guys in the locker room right now, do you feel?
I think it might be just an energy thing. I feel like they're a little bit off the pace defensively and offensively, just maybe not quite as switched on as we've seen in previous games. And obviously, you know, defensively, there's been a few breakdowns and just sort of talking over their offences and where, you know, matchups should be occurring. So I think it's just more of an energy thing, I feel.
Well, let's take a look at the key stats at the halfway point in this one. And Gareth, the thing that really stands out the page is that 3-point field goal percentage.
Yeah, 1 from 11 is always going to be you know, a tough ask when you're shooting sort of 11 threes just to get 1 in return, and themselves 38%. That's not too bad. Obviously, you know, 15 points from beyond the 3. Apart from that, everything else looks fairly well sort of matched up. Really, points in the paint. Bristol Flyers getting it done a little bit better there as well. But that 3-point percentage does seem to be the difference maker at this stage of the game.
Is that a confidence thing, do you feel? I mean, you mentioned earlier about, we've seen times where they just seem a bit switched off, not fully engaged. We've seen balls slipping through hands. We've seen missed dunk opportunities. Is that just a confidence thing and really locking in? Because, as soon as the guys start feeling confident, I imagine you'll see those 3-pointers go down as well.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that the threes they've taken haven't been like wide open looks. We've seen Tartu with some wide open threes. May have missed a couple, but they're good, sort of solid looks. Where the Bristol Flyers, I feel it's not really maybe a little bit forced, hand in the face, defender. They've not been good open looks. And the one that we did see go down was when Raf Thomas was wide open and able to take his time and knock it down. So I think it's the quality of the shot has been better from the home team than Flyers, and that comes down to offense and either running through sets or creating sort of opportunities and space to kick it out to the corners and looking for some better shot selection.
And one of the things we have seen from Bristol Flyers this season, when the shots aren't going down, they're crashing the offensive rebounds for second chance opportunities. Flyers, they have 9 offensive rebounds right now for just 8 second chance points. So, usually it's if you can get a single point per offensive rebound, it's an okay night. If you can get anything higher than that, it's really good.
Yeah, exactly. And there's plenty of opportunities with those missed 3-pointers to crash the boards and to get after it. But, fairly solid, the home team, 20 versus 21 rebounds, so doing a good job on the boards there, and certainly for the home side, that will be key if they want to win tonight, is to keep the Flyers off the glass, and they've done a pretty good job of that.
And just finally, before the teams go back out on the court, any predictions for how the rest of this game is going to play out at all?
I'd love to see Flyers come out with like strong second, third quarter, strong second half, beginnings of the game and get it. But yeah, I think we could be. It reminds me an awful lot of the last home game in European. It was just more of the same, really, in the first half. And I think this game will follow very, very similar patterns. And it will just whoever makes the run at a key time and just hold on to it. So no predictions from me just yet on this.
Very, very well managed there. Very well managed that question, Gareth. Right, well, we are all set for second half action because the players are right back out there on the court, and it's coming up after the break.
Is watching basketball at 3 a.m. enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL, right here in your backyard.
Thatcher's Farm. Slightly obsessed perfectionists making cider with nothing but love. As you do. I mean, why grow 8 varieties of apple when you can grow 458? The Apple Spa. Because happy apples make better cider, obviously. Here comes the man himself, Martin Thatcher. Friday, 12:30, tasting time. It needs to hit the spot or not a drop will leave the farm. Yes! And that's why Thatcher's cider tastes the way it does. Perfect.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. and that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
Good.
Naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And then you would get more and more adventurous. And you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
Welcome back to Estonia, where we're all set for second half action between Bristol Flyers and Tartu Ülikool. And it is Tartu that lead the Flyers 37-28 at the start of the third period. But a poor shooting night for the Flyers from downtown. Just 1 for 11 from distance, but they are still within touching distance, so plenty of time for them to go on a run in this second half, Gareth.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a bit more form behind the ice, some better shot selections, and you know we can certainly pull back that deficit. But yeah, just the energy, the intensity levels for me just need to raise up a little bit.
Well, second half action underway. Here's Kitsing. Oh, Malmanis fakes the handoff, and it's rebounded by Graham Bell. And a good stop for the Flyers in the first possession of the third. Graham Bell looking to beat his defender off the glass, no good, but draws the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
RGB with an aggressive play early doors in this third quarter. Goes to the free throw line for a pair.
Well, Rael Graham Bell, of course, the Flyers, they brought him in initially on that short-term contract after the injury to Christian Cunningham. He impressed so much that they extended him for the rest of the season, and rightly so, because he has been incredible for the Bristol Flyers this season. So he's one of the guys that, you know, you look down at the stat sheet and you just don't realise that, you know, he's getting it done on both ends of the floor, Gareth.
Yeah, he's a very smart player. Scores in all manner of fashion, really aggressive, and some big highlight plays as well. Some big dunks, and obviously his trademark fadeaway jumper as well. We're getting accustomed to seeing.
Well, a three-pointer on the way for Weideman. Can't get it to go. Long rebound falls to Kitsing. His three can't go. And it's rebounded by Jacob, and it's stripped away, but last touched by the Flyers, say the referees. And Coach Kapoulis isn't wanting to take a look at it, so it must have come off a Flyers player. Couldn't really see from our angle. Tartu to inbound. Is Rosenthal. Now Malmanis. Three-pointer is up. The three-pointer is good for Kitsing, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, looking for that extra pass, moving the ball nicely once more around the perimeter. Kitsing's the guy you want to get the ball in his hands. Knocks down another one.
It's a 10-point lead for the hosts. Jacob, deep three ball on the way. He can't convert. That is a very Trajan Jacob shot, and he couldn't get it to go. Kitsing again for three in rhythm. This time is short. Long rebound falls to Rosenthal. Extra pass. Another three-pointer on the way, and it's raining triples in Estonia right now.
Yeah, good patience. Again, making that extra pass, getting a better shot, and then paying off, knocking them down.
Well, ball was skipped into Green, and it just came off the feet of a Tartu defender. As Tijon Lucas returns to the game, Raf Thomas Edwards takes a seat. It's going to be Trajan Jacob to inbound for the Flyers. Jackson, ball screen comes. Extra pass to Lucas, driving inside. It's going to be a foul called against Tartu. Vitamin just caught for reaching in. You see it here, just right there. The reach-in foul. He puts his hand up for it.
Very clever, Lucas, when he has the ball in his hands as well. Just sort of extends his hand, brings it back, almost sort of asking for his hand to, or someone to come and steal the ball off of him and get that bit of contact on the drive.
Jackson floats it up, can't get it to go. Tips it to Brad Green, who puts it in on the follow. And Flyers cut it down to 11. Weideman. Kitsing hands off with Rosenthal again for 3. Off the glass and in. And everything's dropping right now for Tartu.
Yeah, there's that sort of momentum, just the confidence of taking those shots. I'm not sure if he meant to hit it off the glass.
Well, here's Jacob looking to respond the other way for Flyers, and he puts it in off the glass. And if you're exchanging 3s for 2s, this game can only go one way. Here's Malmanis. Now Kitsing looking to drive inside, kicks it out to Rosenthal, guarded by Tijon Lucas. Another 3-pointer on the way is short. Heat check for Tartu. Tijon Lucas is all open in transition, and he puts it in off the glass.
Yeah, that defense to offense, Bristol Flyers, I'm sure they'll certainly welcome some fast breaks, some transition buckets at the moment.
Rosenthal up to Malmanis from the elbow jumper, splashes it. And everything dropping for Tartu in the third quarter. Graham Bell hands off with Jacob. Green now finds Lucas. Ball screen comes from Green. Jackson back top to Tijon Lucas. Green looking for it inside, ends up with him. Can't get it to go. Almost put in by Malmanis there. And now here's Kitsing. Weideman even. Screen comes from Malmanis. Weideman to the basket. All the way to the hole. Soft touch around the rim with the left hand.
Yeah, Coach Kapulis, I don't quite believe how easy that was for him just to sort of curve his run in and just find a lane to the basket as easy as he did.
Lucas off the glass, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound by Brad Green. He manages to get it to go on the follow.
Yeah, Brad Green battling amongst it there. Three players and still able to put it away. Tough move.
I just need to weather the storm here, the Flyers. Here's Weideman looking for Malmanis. Guarded by RGB. Stolen away by Jacob. And Flyers can push. It's a 3-on-2. And it's going to be a foul as Trajan Jacob manages to help Weideman back to his feet.
Yeah, pretty decent foul, I would have thought, in transition. Just slowing. It was a sort of, well, slightly a 3-on-2 there, wasn't it? It just slowed him down. And not a bad play, really, as Bristol Flyers' offensive struggles continue.
Well, it's going to be Jackson to inbound from the baseline. Jacob out at the three-point line. Guarded closely by Tartu. Here's Jackson. Back to Lucas. Lucas, 3-ball on the way. Can't get it to go, and Bristol Flyers, their struggles from three-point range tonight continue. Now 1 for 13 as a team. Oh, they've left him wide open for 3. And open triple for Christian Kitsing as he knocks it down. And timeout called by the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, perfect example of kind of three-point shooting there. Almost a forced dribble off, forced shot off the dribble there, and Tartu able to move the ball around, work it well. Just getting wide open shot after wide open shot, and their percentage must be increasing in this second half. So you're shooting the ball very well, creating good looks and knocking them down.
Well, they're now up to 40% shooting from deep as a team, which is incredible considering the struggles they had, or both teams had in the first half. And we spoke about it in the build-up to, earlier on in the game even, that you felt that whichever team could get going, get better looks from behind the three-point line, could really build some momentum, and it's certainly proven that way with Tartu taking full advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Tartu certainly have had the better looks and working their offense much better, being a lot more patient, looking for the open shooter, and now they're knocking down the shots. So yeah, really extending that lead out now. 53 plays 38.
What do you think Coach Kapoulas will be saying to the team now in this timeout? I mean, they've managed to go on this run. I mean, Flyers, if they can get some of their own looks to go down, they can start to look at going on a run. But I think more than importantly than that, it starts on the defensive end for Flyers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Coach Kapoulas, that's where it all starts, on the defensive end. And too many times now we've just seen Tartu players wide open from all over the arc, and then giving up open looks to get even better looks, almost, or better shooters having the ball, and it paying off for them right now.
Here's Lucas driving to the basket. His layup can't convert, and it's rebounded by the hosts. Here's Rosenthal. Ball lobbed up. There's going to be a foul called on the entry pass, because it could have been called on CJ Jackson, I believe.
Yeah, looking for the lob up top there. I think we'll probably see a better look here. Just a little nudge in the back with the forearms. Just enough to put him off. Referee right on it.
Ball into Rosenthal. It's almost stolen away by the Flyers, but back to Rosenthal, who floats it up. Can't get the shooter's touch to go. And Flyers can push the other way. Smith. Lucas inside to Graham Bell. Here he is backing down inside. The turnaround jumper gets it to go. Rosenthal. Screen comes from Malmanis. They've left Kitsing open for three again, and he can't convert that time. You see Coach Kapoulas on the sideline just talking to his players, because although that shot didn't go in by Christian Kitsing, it was another open look for him in the end.
Yeah, it was another good open shot. So yeah, they're just a lot more patient on their offense. Flyers, we've seen it a couple of times where they've kind of got themselves in a bit of a hole, and players are taking responsibility, but they end up going sort of 1-on-3 or 1-on-4, 1-in-5, and I think Coach Chris would just like to see a bit more of the offense, a bit more structure.
Leslie Smith's three is up and good for the big man from downtown, and boy did they need that, the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, just the 10 points. It almost feels like it should be more than that, but it's just 10.
Oh, gets it to go and count it, as Shundle goes to the line for a bonus. End-to-end stuff here for both teams. I mean, Leslie Smith knocked down the three, and then just like that at the other end, Anatoly Shundle with the three-point play, and now a chance to go to the line for a bonus. Well, substitutions on the floor for Tartu as Christian Kitsing takes a seat. And Anatoly Shundle converts on the three-point play to put Tartu on top by 13 points.
You've got Corey Samuels playing the two spot. We talked about the sort of point guard rotations with Lucas and CJ Jackson, but also Corey Samuels.
Smith looking to drive inside, ends up turning it over. Great defense by the home side. Chance for Tartu to extend their lead here. Samuels ends up on the deck, but quickly back to his feet. Kiwi. Guarded by Graham Bell. Screen comes from Malmanis. A mid-range two off the back iron. Trickles over the top of the backboard and into the hands of Leslie Smith. Ball into Thomas Edwards. Thomas Edwards looking to drive inside, and again it's another travel.
Yeah.
Seen that a couple of times from him in this one.
Certainly been a fair few travels called in this game, but that was a pretty obvious travel.
Again, that sort of just comes back to what we spoke about at half-time. You know, there's careless mistakes, it's just switching on. I mean, those are unforced errors from the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, and it's just almost just forcing the play a little bit, trying to make things happen. And, you know, as the leader of the team, you just want to get your teammates going, try and make that big play.
Oh, easy layup in the end, right down the lane. Shundle finishes.
And that was just way, way too easy.
Now Jacob forces up a triple, but knocks it down. And a couple of threes for Flyers have managed to drop, and that's an unforced turnover for Tartu at the other end.
Yeah, Pasquale Landolfi straight into the thick of the action, getting a turnover.
Oh, could this be the change in momentum that Bristol Flyers need? I mean, saw Jacob knock down the three, quickly followed by a turnover. Chance for this to be a 5-point swing if the Flyers can score on this possession. Jacob to the basket, lays it up, no good. There's Raf Thomas Edwards on the follow, and he will go to the line to shoot too.
Yep, good energy from the Bristol Flyers. Jacob going to the bucket and able to get it to go, but Raf's right there. And yeah, takes one on the head. And a timeout. Tartu coach has seen enough of that for the last couple of minutes. He needs to just remind his team this game's not done just yet. And Bristol Flyers are very capable of coming back into this game.
Well, if Raf can convert on a pair of free throws here, it'll be a quick 5-0 run for the Flyers. And in a low-scoring game like this, a 5-0 run is quite a hefty run. And if they can keep chaining this together for the last 11 minutes or so of this game, could be a tight one down the stretch. But as you say, under 2 minutes to go, important for... you feel whichever team can go on a run could really determine how this fourth quarter plays out.
Yeah, big couple of minutes here for Flyers can sort of keep that momentum, pull it back single digits. Everything to play for in this last quarter.
Well, don't forget, Bristol Flyers fans, you can next see the Flyers in action on Friday night when they travel down to Sheffield Sharks on Friday live on Sky Sports.
Travelling up to Sheffield Sharks.
Travel up, I should say, to Sheffield Sharks. That game's live on Sky Sports. Almost forgot who we were playing there. And then don't forget, you can watch the Flyers next in action on December 28th. Bit of festive basketball for you. Bristol Flyers travelling over to Leicester Riders. And that one should be a very tasty matchup indeed. You can watch that game for free over on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Then, of course, Flyers next in European North Basketball League action on Tuesday, January 9th, when new side Backham Bears come to town. It's a 7:30 p.m. tip-off live from the SGS College Arena, and tickets are still available over at bristolflyers.co.uk. So why not treat a loved one to some live Flyers basketball this Christmas?
Perfect Christmas present.
I couldn't agree more myself. Well, Raf Thomas Edwards knocks down the pair of free throws, and it's a 5-0 run for the Flyers. They cut it down to 10 with a minute and a half to go in the third. Here's Weideman. Finds Shundle. It's got a mismatch on Smith. Here's the extra pass. Shundle kicks it out. Another three-pointer on the way. It is short, but an offensive rebound. And they can't get it to go. A rare miss on the offensive follow. And now Flyers a chance to extend this run. Here's Jacob for three. Off the back iron, no good. Thomas Edwards soars for the offensive rebound. And Flyers will get a second chance opportunity here.
Yeah, another good offensive rebound for Raf Thomas Edwards. He's bringing that energy now, and what a difference that makes, getting those offensive rebounds, recycling it, getting another shot. Those are the sort of plays that's certainly going to help Flyers get back into this game.
This energy is contagious amongst the team, isn't it? Because, you know, you see one player with the effort plays, and the next player will step up as well. As Smith fakes the three, drives inside, but another travelling violation is called. And how many times have we seen that called tonight?
On both teams as well, isn't it? Both teams picked up for the travels.
Here's Shundle. Guarded by Samuels. Looking for a vitamin. Got Pasquale Landolfi on him, and it's going to be a foul called, I think, on Landolfi for just trying to fight through the screen. Yeah. It's the third team foul on the Bristol Flyers. Ball into Menzies. Shundle pulls up for three. Drains the three. And that just creates that little bit of separation for Tartu now going into the fourth quarter.
Another big play. Just when Flyers were getting a bit of momentum.
Is Samuels. Around about 7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Jacob coming off the screen. Trajan Jacob to the basket. It's going to be unsportsmanlike foul called. So 2 shots and possession coming up for Trajan Jacob.
Oh yeah, very hard slap there. Bit of an in and out dribble just to create that bit of separation. Attack the basket hard. Good to see Jacob with a bit more energy as well, and just sort of easing his way into the game. Hopefully not left it too late. Got another quarter to go. But there's a player who can certainly make some big shots and big plays in a hurry.
Well, he's no good on the first free throw. And the Flyers, their free throw struggles tonight, they just continue here into the second half. 11 for 17 as a team, just 64%. And they are one of the best free throw shooting teams in the British Basketball League this season. So an uncharacteristic night from the foul line. Jacob knocks down the second. They will get possession back here for the last possession of the third after the unsportsmanlike foul. Essentially, for the new fan, the rule is on an unsportsmanlike foul, you get 2 shots and you get possession as well. Ball into Smith. 8 seconds to go in the third. CJ Jackson has to go to work. Pulls up for 3. Off the back iron, no good, and that will do it for the end of the third period. Tartu Ülikool have really stretched the lead here in the third quarter. And they've done it by getting hot from behind the three-point line, Gareth.
Yeah, came out all guns blazing, really, getting those open looks and knocking shots down. The Flyers did rally back, 24-11 that quarter, so both teams stepping up their production offensively. But you still feel Tartu still slightly more in control of the game.
Rosenthal leads the way, 16 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds as well for the Tartu captain. And Shundle has 12 points off the bench to lead the way, alongside Christian Kitzing as well. He has 12 points to go along with his 5 rebounds. And meanwhile for Flyers, they have 2 players in double figures right now. Brad Green, 11 points and 6 rebounds. And then Rebel Graham Bell also has 10 points. Of course, a huge positive for Bristol Flyers fans in this game is that they have managed to get minutes out of Tijon Lucas, of course, returning from that hamstring strain. He's just 10 minutes of action. He's got 6 points and 2 assists, and good production for him. You know, hasn't played a competitive basketball game since the start of November.
No, he looks good. You know, considering not having much court time, obviously, because he's been injured, but almost picking off where he left off, really making some great moves to the basket, some tough finishes, some nice assists in the limited amount of time he's had.
Well, Coach Kapoulas getting every second out of this timeout here at the end of the third quarter. What do his side need to do here, Gareth, to go on a run in the fourth?
I think they put a lot of pressure on, be aggressive, try and get after it, push the ball, try and play some Flyers basketball, but that can all be let down defensively. Defensively can have to be switched on. Limit those 3-point opportunities, which Tartu have done very well, moving the ball around offensively, getting those looks, but just maybe try and force the pace a little bit.
Yeah, certainly starts on the defensive end for Bristol Flyers, this Bristol Flyers team. They build confidence out of defensive stops. Here's CJ Jackson. The fourth quarter officially gets underway. Green's calling for it inside, gets it inside in the end. A nice move from Brad Green. And Flyers with the first 2 of the fourth to cut it down to 10.
Yeah, good start. Bristol Flyers. You almost feel like this defensive set is really important. Try not to get it answered back straight away, but fumble there in the corner.
Yeah, Malmanis nearly threw it out of bounds as he spins on green. Nice defense from the big fella. They've left them open for 3. It's going to be a foul called as Kitsing will gut the line to shoot 3 free throws here. And you know, we spoke about the defense. You know, you want to step it up on the defense, just not quite that much on the defensive end.
Yeah, you can just see the frustration of Coach Kapoulas. He did a good job, but Raf doing the right, just a bit out of control and almost knew straight away. But trying to do the right things, trying to get a hand up into the shooter, but just getting bailed out there, and he'll go to the line for 3.
And it does send Christian Kitsing to the line. He had a team high 27 points, Kitsing did, on 6 for 9 shooting from 3 in their last ENBL win over the Lansted Hammers. Bit of a stretch 4 for this Tartu team. 6'9" tall.
You can see how his teammates try to look for him as well. They almost give up shots to try and find him in the corners.
He knocks down all 3 free throws. It's stolen away. Careless turnover from Flyers at the other end, and now Tartu with another chance to extend on their lead. Malmanis kicks it out. Extra pass. Kitsing for 3. Can't get it to go. An offensive rebound falls to Tartu. Another chance at it here for the home side. Weideman. It's going to be a foul called away from the basketball. And not the ideal start for Bristol Flyers for this 4th quarter. They foul the 3-point jump shooter. They give up offensive rebounds as well. As Pasquale Landolfi takes a seat, as does Trajan Jacob.
They sort of had the Brad Green offense, which was a nice, well-worked offense, and as you said after that, it's just almost little careless mistakes, really, which is certainly not helping the Flyers get back into this game.
Look, Heavey's wide open for 3, and he knocks it down. And again, Flyers just too late to rotate on the defensive end. Another triple drops for the home team. Tejon Lucas, deep 2, drains it. And Tejon Lucas now up to 8 points on his return from injury. Great ball movement on the offensive end for Tartu, and that results in a Bristol Flyers foul.
Yeah, it's almost like they know if Raf Thomas Edwards closing out, they're just going to sell the fake or look to attack him off the dribble, and they're just trying to close out. Big bit of contact.
Well, Raf Thomas Edwards will head to the bench. It's his 3rd personal foul in this one. Here's Shundle. Screen comes from Malmanis, rolling to the basket, puts it up. It's going to be another foul called against the Flyers, and that will send Ronaldo Malmanis to the free throw line to shoot 2. Well, it's a 13-point lead for the home side. They've led by as many as 15 points in the game as Malmanis knocks down the first, and now has a chance to tie their biggest lead of the game with just over 8 minutes to go in this one. And you feel if Bristol Flyers are going to make that run, Gareth, now is the time.
Yep, now is the time, but you just kind of feel that Tartu are in better control of the game, managing the game a little bit better.
Well, stranger things have happened. We certainly have seen an incredible comeback for Flyers on the home court against Sheffield Sharks earlier in the season. Coming back from a 10-point deficit after trailing with, they were down by 10 with just over a minute to go. They came back and won that game in overtime. Here's another 3 for Kitsing. This one is off. Flyers can push on the transition here. Lucas kicks it out. Samuels driving inside. It's going to be a foul called against Shundle. He just grabbed Corey Samuels' arm there. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul as well, is it?
I was going to say, it looked very much like an unsportsmanlike. It didn't look like as much of a play for the ball. Corey Samuels just blew past the defender and just tried to grab him back, but
I don't think it is going to be called an unsportsmanlike foul here. I don't know if you can see it on the replay. Yeah, you can't really see it too well off the edge of your screen. It didn't look like an attempt on the basketball. And Corey Samuels unable to convert on the first. Bristol Flyers now 12 for 20 from the foul line this evening. Kiwi. Weideman driving inside. Now here's Kitsing, nowhere to go. Mid-range 2 is off, and the rebound falls to the Flyers. Jackson pushing in transition, kicks it out to Lucas. Thought about the 3. Good recovery from Tartu. He was looking for Green inside, and it's stolen away by the hosts. Tartu pushing in transition. Weideman will use every second out of this shot clock here. Now Manis calling for it inside. Comes off the foot of Roel Graham-Bell, and it will be a new 14 seconds for Tartu Ülikool.
Yeah, managing the game well there, just moving the ball around inside out, eating up some clock. So get a fresh 14 with the kicking the ball, a foot violation.
Well, if Tartu can hold on for the win here, it will improve their record to 3-0 in the European North Basketball League this season. Of course, they were founding members of the ENBL. It's their 3rd season now playing in this competition. Oh, unlucky there for Tartu. It was almost going to be a 3-point play. I think everyone in the arena just held their breath as Rosenthal floated it up and just couldn't quite get the shooter's touch there.
No, everything just seemed to pause for a second there. The arena went quiet and just didn't go.
We'll send him to the line to shoot 2. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists tonight for Rosenthal. It's been a real complete performance for the Tartu captain.
Yeah, leading from the front. Some really good basketball, good team basketball.
Samuels. Screen comes from Brad Green. RGB. Extra pass to Jacob. Ball into Green. Backing down Malmanis, and it's stolen away by Rosenthal. There's going to be a foul called. Oh, I think the referee's just...
Yeah, referee slipped over, I think. He's okay.
Couldn't quite see it there off the edge of your screen. Well, Shundle's got to inbound here to get us back underway. 6 minutes and change to go in the 4th. It's a 15-point lead for Tartu. Rosenthal. Oh, nice pass inside to Malmanis. Back out to Rosenthal. He's left wide open for 3. Ball goes in and out, but an offensive rebound falls to the hosts. Another 3, this time from Malmanis. He can't get it to go. Tijon Lucas with the rebound. Lucas ends up on the deck. And it's another turnover for the Bristol Flyers. That is their 19th not their 19th turnover. That is their 13th turnover of the game.
Yep. Just not really happened, does it, for the Bristol Flyers tonight? Everything to do now. 5 minutes 45 less in this game, and not much sort of sign of being able to turn this game around.
Shundle now finds Rosenthal. Stolen away by the Flyers. And here comes Jacob in rhythm for 3. Splashes it. And that's one way to get yourself back into the game. You can knock down those 3s, which the Flyers have struggled with all night long. But do they have one final push in them? Here's Malmanes, backing down Brad Green. Turnaround hook shot, no good that time. Rebound for Green. Jackson now. Kicks to Green, back to CJ Jackson. Jackson comes off the Brad Green screen. Here's Roel Graham-Bell. He's wide open for three, and he can't convert, and that's a really good look for RGB.
Yep. That'd have been huge for that to have gone down. But well worked offense. Good look. RGB just not been able to get it to go.
Oh, it's stolen by Trajan Jacob. And he steps in another one. Trajan Jacob for three. It's back-to-back triples for the Bristol Flyers guard. And just like that, could there be life in this game for the Bristol Flyers?
Certainly can be, and those are the big plays that we've been waiting for. Trajan Jacob quiet most of the game, but coming up big when it counts. And is there a glimmer of hope? Still plenty of time, 4 minutes 32, but it has been a low-scoring game, but not insurmountable.
It's always the tough shots, isn't it, that Trajan Jacob knocks down. It's not the open looks, it's the step, the catch in transition ones. It's the ones with hands in the face and a couple of back-to-back triples. I mean, we've spoken about momentum and confidence, and that's contagious amongst the team. You see one player knocking down a pair of back-to-back threes. Could that be the spark that the rest of the team need to go on this run?
Yeah, and they'll certainly be feeling happier as a collective in this timeout. Big plays from Trajan Jacob, brought it down to single digits now, and there's still time in the game, but going to need a couple more stops.
Oh, Trajan Jacob now up to 14 points in this game. He's got 5 steals as well. You don't see that too often. Hands all over the place tonight. But do the Bristol Flyers have one final push in this game? Still plenty of time with just under 4.5 or just over 4.5 minutes to go. And now you see them just switch it up on the defensive end with this full court pressure. Here's Rosenthal, guarded by Jacob. Back to Rosenthal. Shot clock's down to 5 here. They have to shoot. The triple is up. No good that time. Offensive rebound by Aaron Menzies. Oh, they've left them wide open for 3. And again, Tartu can't convert.
Big offense, yeah. Foul there. Big blocking foul.
There's a bit of a smart foul in the end from Tartu. Of course, Flyers, they like to get out in transition. I'm sure it would have been top of the scouting report. They turn defense into offense. They build momentum off of live turnovers. And is that really a play on the ball, Gareth?
I was just seeing the replay of that one. It just like a shoulder barge.
Yeah.
The player, not much play on the ball there at all.
Oh, just a common foul is called, and Flyers are going to talk this over here. I don't think a timeout's been called on the floor.
Oh, are they calling? Are they looking at a review? Is it? Maybe.
Yeah, they are. I see the referees over in the corner just taking a look at it on the screen, and I imagine the call here is, Coach Kapoulas, I imagine, has challenged this. They've gone for an unsportsmanlike foul, which I think is the correct decision.
Yeah.
We only got to saw it very briefly there on that replay, but certainly not a play on the basketball. So it will be 2 shots and possession here for Flyers.
Great use of the replay there for Coach Kapoulas.
And could this be the spot that they need? Because, all of a sudden, there could be another 4-point swing here after Trajan Jacob knocked down those back-to-back threes. Just open the door for Bristol Flyers, and Bristol Flyers, they just need to walk through it, but can't knock down their free throws, Gareth?
Yeah, it's been in a game as tight as this. Free throws massively important, and it's one of those things. Once you sort of got your head down a little bit on the free throw, it seems to get more and more difficult.
Well, it's a 9-point game, and Bristol Flyers have missed 8 free throws. Here's CJ Jackson. Ball into Green. Going to work on Menzies. Nice move from the big fella. And he can't get it to go, but an offensive rebound falls to RGB.
Goodness me.
They'll just about get a new 14 seconds. Here's Jackson. Another screen from Green, and Jackson for 3. Can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound for the Flyers. is Jacob now. Jacob will try one from distance, and he can't get it to go. And it will trickle down a play for a Tartu ball. Three chances on the last offense there, Gareth.
Yeah, you think needed one of those to go down to make it even more interesting as we head towards the final 3 minutes of the ball game.
Rosenthal, screen comes from Menzies. Rosenthal to the basket, kicks it out to Kiwi. Kiwi drives left, it's knocked loose by Jackson. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock, and it's going to be a foul called on Green.
And the Flyers are in the penalty by the looks of it.
And you see it here on the replay. Just on the bump there. Brad Green committing the foul. And that matchup inside, it really has lived up to expectations, doesn't it? It's been everything we thought it would be. Two 7-footers going at it toe to toe. It's been a real slugfest out there.
Yeah, not too many people make Brad Green look smaller than he is. A big bloke, but Menzies 7'3",
7'3".
7'3".
Of course, he joined from the Leicester Riders, joined Tartu over the summer. Pulled down a season-high 17 rebounds in their win over Kelia Kulbet in the Latvian Estonian League very recently. Of course, they also play in the European North Basketball League in Group B. Did the Flyers have one last run in them? Here's Green. Hands off with Jackson. Jackson turns the corner, looking to go downhill, kicks it out to Graham Bell. He's wide open for three, he has to shoot it. And he can't get it to go from distance.
They've had the looks, haven't they? The last couple of offenses, they've had looks.
Yeah. And can they get it done on the defensive end, the Flyers? Here's Rosenthal. It's going to be another foul called, and that will be another trip to the line for Mark Rosenthal. Because, of course, as you mentioned there, Gareth, earlier, the Flyers are in a penalty.
Fairly straightforward call there. Rosenthal on the line for two. But yeah, it could have been so different in their good looks. The last couple of offensive Flyers. You know, RGB, you know, you sort of talk about confidence as well. If you're confident, he knocked down that first one, but he thought about the drive, and then he took the shot.
It's when you hesitate, isn't it? It's when you think about it a little bit too much in that situation. You know, you get it open on the three-point line. And Royal Graham Bell is a confident three-point shooter in the British Basketball League. We've seen that time and time again. Those are the shots he really should be looking for out there.
Yeah. When you're full of confidence, it just flies. A little bit of think about it.
Speaking of confidence, this guy's confident, and that could be a blow to the confidence as it's an air ball from Trajan Jacob. And the ball will go back to Tartu here with just over 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Shundle to inbound. Weideman calling for a screen from Menzies. It's guarded closely by CJ Jackson. Menzies goes under the screen. Now Jackson goes under the screen even. Stolen away by Jackson. Good hands. And here he comes the other way, pushing in transition. It's going to be a foul called on Weideman. And great defense from CJ Jackson on that occasion, and does well to keep him, behind him there in transition.
Again, there's not much of a play on the ball there, is there? Just pushing him out of the way.
Well, timeout's been called on the floor. And there's still time here for a team to go on a run. I mean, it's only a 10-point game with 2 minutes and change to go. I know it's been a low-scoring game, but it just takes the floodgates to open from deep, and it's not like the Flyers haven't been getting good looks from downtown.
Yeah, no, they have been, and that's probably my slight worry. Is they have had really good looks and not been able to convert. But you know, they've made a good game of this in this third quarter. Trajan Jacob able to create some hope, but time running out. 10 points, 1 minute 53 left. But like I said, it's not impossible.
Well, don't forget the Flyers have just 2 more games left in their Group A ENBL schedule, both taking place in January. The first one is at home against Danish side Back and Bears on Tuesday, January 9th, which you can still get tickets for, by the way, over at bristolflyers.co.uk. And the second one is on the road to Svendborg Rabbits at the back end of January. And of course, both games you can watch for free right here on Bristol Flyers TV. And Gareth, with 3 wins for the Flyers in Group A, I mean, it's been super competitive so far, but I still think they need just one more win to potentially secure their spot in the postseason.
Yeah, exactly. And tell us, Joe, how was it? Was it top 4 teams?
Top 4 from each group advance through to the playoffs. The fourth place team from Group A will face the first place team from Group B over a 2-legged aggregate format. And then the winners of the first round of the playoffs will advance to the Final 4, which is held at a central location. It's going to be a 5-second violation on Corey Samuels there. As the Final 4 will be held at a central location come playoff time, which I think is going to be early spring. And they do a Final 4 weekend where it's 2 semi-finals, straight knockout, a third, fourth place game, and then the final straight afterwards.
And a possibility of a Newcastle-Bristol matchup in the playoffs?
Well, could very well be possible. You never know. I'm sure both teams like to see a European opposition though in the playoffs, though, right?
Yeah, of course. Maybe a final, perhaps.
maybe. Well, another 3-pointer is good for Rosenthal, and you feel, Gareth, that just might about do it here, as the triple is good. And it's going to be a third win for Tartu here in the competition. They're going to advance to 3-0 in the European North Basketball League after picking up impressive wins against both Spartak Pluvin and Svendborg Rabbits in their first 2 games. Well, CJ Jackson's going to inbound from the sideline here. A minute and change to go in the fourth. And Flyers want to end this one on a high. Of course, they travel to Sheffield Sharks on Friday night. Samuels going down the lane, puts it up, puts it in. Substitutions on the floor, of course, in the last 2 minutes. You do that after a score. As Weideman re-enters the game for Tartu. Knocked loose by Jacob. Oh, the officials are going to talk it over here. The sideline official called that as a Flyers ball. They are going to talk things through. They've got the option to look it back if they want to. I thought that official just pointed over at the screen, so they might do that here. Surely, if they're unsure, they've got the ability to look back at it here. Let's see if we can see it in the replay.
So can the referees just make that call to look at the replay, or does it need to be...
Both teams get a challenge, but if the officials feel like they've made an error on a call, like a sideline, they can go and look at it. And they are going to go look at it. Of course, but I mean, you wouldn't challenge that normally. No. But the officials, if they felt like they, if one official's saying one thing, one saying the other thing, they can do it themselves.
Okay.
As well. So they're going to look at this back and see who this ball last came off of. And this is kind of the benefit here. It's great to see because you want to get the decision right in this situation. And to have that ability to just go look at it back, it takes, 30 seconds to a minute to see who it last came off of.
Yep.
It doesn't really stop any kind of flow, but getting the right decision is crucial in these situations. Just as I say that, Gareth, it's going to take about a minute or so. It's probably going to take longer than a minute for them to go look at this. But yeah, as you say, important for them to get the right decision. It looks like they have come to a decision here. And it will be a Flyers ball.
The coach can't believe it, Kelly. I think he called I think he asked to get the review, and I don't think he's still believing it.
Well, it will be Flyers ball here with a minute and change to go. Jackson to inbound, finds Green. Jacobs open at the three-point line. Jackson turns the corner. Jackson to the hole. Can't get it to go. That's going to be a foul called on Corey Samuels. And it will send Rosenthal to the foul line to shoot 2 because Flyers are in the penalty.
Well, Gareth, it has been an impressive performance from Tartu Ülikool tonight. I mean, we spoke about it in the build-up. You know, they don't have any Americans on their team. Yep. They like to share the ball. They've got great shooters out there, just quietly going about their business tonight.
Yeah, just writing down my notes there. Exactly right, Joel. Really good team basketball they play. There's no sort of, you know, heroes out there that look to take over the game. They all sort of know what's expected. They play good. They look for the shooters. They look to make that extra pass. And it's been, it's been really good to watch. And defensively, holding Bristol Flyers to under 70. Good all-round team performance.
And you look at the other end. I mean, they've scored 76 points on the offensive end, and for a Flyers game, I mean, that's usually whereabouts they'd win a game. They concede around 75 points a game in the league, and usually that's a good defensive performance. But to score 63 points at the other end, that's certainly been credit to Tartu's defense tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And they just showed a little bit more patience on their offense, and Flyers. There's been spells of some nice basketball, but yeah, just didn't really manage to get any sort of prolonged kind of spells going where the momentum was high. And free throw shooting we touched on, and 3-point shooting's been bit of a challenge as well. So, certainly I think Tartu very much deserved winners of this game.
Yeah, well, Flyers' 3-point field goal percentage has shot up to 20% on the back of those Trajan Jacob pair of threes, but up until that point, they were around 15 or lower percentage. And I think you look at games throughout the British Basketball League campaign, Flyers are a team that like to get up a lot of threes, and when they're not dropping, they do tend to struggle this season. They can get out of it through their offensive rebounding if they can get those second chance points to go.
Well, that's it. It's the rebounding as well. If it's not quite happening from beyond the arc, and then if your team defensively not switched on, they manage to grab a few boards, and they can get another sort of go at it. But I think Tartu have done a good job on the rebounding side of things, and really limited Flyers to those one shot offenses.
Here's Graham Bell, turnaround fadeaway jumper, splashes it. And that is what Roel Graham Bell can do. That's why he's earned the nickname Darth Vader.
It is. Brings it down to 9. 51 seconds to go.
We have seen a comeback like this before.
11.
For the Flyers. They're down by 10 with a minute to go against Sheffield, but here's Weideman, guarded by Jackson. Weideman turns the corner. Top to Rosenthal, into a double team, back to Weideman. Weideman right down the lane, floats it up off the back iron, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound is stolen away by Graham Bell. Flyers can push, nice pass into Jacob, and Jacob with the soft touch around the rim. And the timeout's been called by Tartu here, 25 seconds to go. You just felt that momentum shifting in Bristol Flyers' favour. But is it too little, too late, Gareth?
Yeah, I think it probably is. I'm sure that last sort of transition bucket defense to offense, we'd like to have seen a little bit more of that. But Tartu running their offense incredibly well, not giving Flyers those sort of transitional buckets. And I think the Tartu coach just shoring things up, just to slow down that momentum. And just want to see the game home now.
Well, this result is going to see Flyers drop to 3-2 in the ENBL campaign this season. There's 2 games left to play. Of course, they take on Bakken Bears on January 9th, and then it's a trip out to Denmark to face Svendborg Rabbits. And it could all come down to that last game, in fact, to secure a playoff berth. As Tartu are unbeaten now with 3 wins and 0 losses. Bakken Bears are obviously unbeaten to start their ENBL campaign as well.
So they've got a lot of catch-up to do, Bakken Bears. Is that what they played?
That's right. They started their campaign at the back end of November, I believe. They played 2 games so far, 2-0. Of course, they dropped out of the FIBA Europe Cup straight into the European North Basketball League as they took the space of Hapoel Beersheva, who of course dropped out for obvious reasons. Ball into Kitsing, into a double team for the Flyers, and it's knocked loose, and it will be a Flyers ball here with 21 seconds to go. You hear what the fans think of it. And I think they're going to look at this one as well.
the referees. Coach Kapula's just calling his players in here, as the officials are going to go look back on this one to see who that last came off of, if they can. And might be a struggle to see who it last came off of on this replay, because I don't know if you can see which cameras they have available to look back on. Don't forget, you can next watch the Bristol Flyers in action in the British Basketball League on Friday night when they travel to the Sheffield Sharks. The game's live on Sky Sports. You can also watch it on the Sky Sports YouTube channel, and also be broadcast in select US states with the American broadcast deal with the British Basketball League as well for the overseas follower. And then that is the last game for the Flyers before Christmas. They then travel to the Leicester Riders on December 28th, and that one, Gareth, promises to be a tasty game. You see Leicester Riders starting to pick up some form now with the addition of Teddy Allen.
Yeah, what a player he looks, by the way. Not a bad debut, not too shabby debut there for him at the Leicester Riders. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing more of him in the British Basketball League.
Of course, I watched plenty of his games over the summer because he was a teammate of Jelani Watson-Gales at the Winnipeg Sea Bears in the Canadian Elite Basketball League, and just picking up where he left off in the British Basketball League with his debut for Leicester. A huge performance.
So he wasn't playing for another team in this?
Hasn't played since the summer, no. Yeah. But it didn't seem like it in his debut.
No, not at all. The 33 points was it?
Yeah, I think so, something like that, yeah. Will remain Flyers ball here as Trajan Jacob pushes in transition, pulls up for three in transition and knocks it down. And hello, because it's a 6-point game with 15 seconds to go. It's going to be a foul call. They're looking for an unsportsmanlike foul. The question is, did they foul before the ball was inbounded?
We're going to see some more replay action.
I don't know if you can see where the foul was committed there. Is it an offensive foul? Oh, okay, maybe, yeah. I mean, but you see Graham Bell get caught up with the Tartu player there. And the rule is if it's foul is committed before the inbound pass has been made, it is an unsportsmanlike foul. Technical foul even. My bad. It will be a technical foul. It'll be a one shot, and then they will inbound again. That's a tough call on the Flyers there, but you can kind of see what you saw the replay. It was pretty straightforward to make in the end, but you see what Bristol were trying to do, trying to force those turnovers off the inbound, and that 3-pointer made it a 6-point game with 15 seconds to go. So the technical foul will be shot.
So will there be two for the foul as well?
It'll be a single. They'll get to inbound the ball again after the technical free throw. Essentially, the rule is you can't commit a foul before the ball has been inbounded in the last 2 minutes of the game.
I've got a little shout out for Flyers family and their Lisa Yule. This will be a home court when she used to play from Estonia. So she messaged in telling me she's watching eagerly here. This was her home court when she lived, and obviously from Estonia.
Is she there now, or is she watching? Is she watching the YouTube stream, Gareth?
I'm not sure, but she did tell me this is where she used to play. Lisa used to play for the Flyers women's team.
Well, shout out Lisa if you are watching on YouTube. The technical foul is good as Shundle knocks it down, and then they will pick up where they left off. So it's a 7-point game with 15 seconds to go. Ball's inbounded to Kiwi, pushing in. Oh, it's still on the way. It's going to be a foul called. And you see CJ Jackson's reaction to the call.
He tried his best, didn't he? He was almost there with it, just with the body. Yeah, you can see frustrating. But he hasn't given up on the game, chasing the game, going after that ball. But that'll send
Kiwi to the line to shoot two.
Yeah. Just to seal it.
Well, he's an 80% free throw shooter on the season, Robin Kiwi. He makes no mistakes on the first. And the second one is good to make it a 9-point lead for Tartu. Jacob looking to push in transition, finds Jackson, who can't get it to go underneath the bucket. And it's last touched by Tartu. And you see the frustration there by CJ Jackson as he bangs the ball off the wall, and it's kind of just about summed up their night tonight. It's going to be Jackson to inbound here. 3 seconds to go in this one. Ball into Graham Bell. It's going to be a foul called on the catch. We'll send Graham Bell to the line and shoot two now because Tartu are in a penalty. It feels like these last minute or so, Gareth, just gone on for ages, isn't it?
It has. And there was like a glimmer of hope, and then and then another glimmer, and then oh dear.
Well, we'll send Roel Graham Bell to the line to shoot two. 12 points so far tonight. I mean, that's 13 points now, along with his 7 rebounds. He's quietly gone about his business. As he knocks down the second. The ball is quickly inbounded. And that will do it. It is an impressive win for Tartu Ülikool as they remain unbeaten in the European North Basketball League this season as they come out on top, 79 points to 72 over the Bristol Flyers. And that's going to do it for our coverage here, but do stick around with us because after the break, Gareth and I are going to break down all the key action from tonight's game. Don't go away.
Is watching basketball at 3 in the morning enough? No, of course not. So you always wanted to be part of the team. Your own basketball club in your own backyard. What if I said you could? ENBL. 9 European countries, 15 pro teams, 60 games a season. The fastest growing basketball league in Europe. In the arena, on TV, or streaming live on your phone. Reach out to us and join the ENBL family. ENBL. Right here in your backyard.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
Good.
Naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And then you would get more and more adventurous. And you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Ayy, cause I head tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby. You think a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Ayy, where the money at? Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but don't mess up the mood.
Welcome back to Flyers TV, where we have reached the end of this one in the European North Basketball League between Bristol Flyers and Tartu Ülikool, and it was the host that came out on top, 79 points to 72. And Gareth, this one, it was a low-scoring game throughout, but Tartu ran out the worthy winners in the end, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Bristol played particularly well. I've certainly seen them play a lot better, but they gave themselves a chance. It was just a 7-point loss in the end, and you sort of go through the stats. You look at the free throw shooting, the 3-point shooting. A really off night for the Bristol Flyers, and yet just to lose by 7 points. On another night. The classic cliche, really, but it could have been a very, very different game. But very much credit to the home team. I thought they played some really good team basketball, and as you said, deserved winners.
Yeah, the door was left open for the Flyers really in that second half. They had the chance. They had some good looks as well from downtown, and obviously the free throws not dropping. Again, it's just a frustrating night because when you get those good looks, you'd expect those to go in.
Yeah, exactly. They did create the opportunities more so in the second half. I think the first half they sort of definitely struggled a bit more offensively, maybe not taking the right or not great shot selection, but gave themselves the opportunity, and you just felt just little plays whether out of bounds or turnovers. You just kind of knew that it wasn't going to be quite their night tonight, and as I said, despite all of that, they still put up a good fist of it in a good competition.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the key moments from the second half. And it was a low-scoring first half during this game, Gareth. And in the third quarter, Tartu didn't shoot the ball particularly well in the first half. The third quarter, they really started knocking them down.
Yeah, I think both teams started to to shoot a lot better in the second half. But just their night, really, just being able to move the ball, looking for that extra pass, getting better shot selection, and then able to actually just see a wide open 3-pointer there, and in that third quarter able to get that, the creating those opportunities and to execute them as well.
On the positive side of things for Bristol Flyers, they were able to get some minutes out of Tijon Lucas, and that will be important for them moving into January when they start their British Basketball League Trophy campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see him fit and healthy. I'm sure, we might get some feedback of how he sort of managed that injury during the game and how he felt, but it'll take a little while for him to get up to full speed, but very good promising signs for him off that lengthy layout.
Yeah, look at the stats. Tijon Lucas, 13 minutes, 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. It's almost back to what he used to do for Bristol Flyers, given the minutes he was given tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure Coach Billisby would like to give him those 25, 30 minutes a game and stack up that that stat line as well, because he's very, very capable of doing that. And he did make a big difference coming on that sort of almost cameo appearance in that first half. Did give a little bit of a lift to the team and just added a little slight different dimension to the Bristol Flyers offense.
Yeah, looking at some of the key numbers, Rosenthal led the way for Tartu with 25 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. As a captain for Tartu Ülikool, really led from the front, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a great stat line, isn't it? From your captain as well, leading by example. And I said nothing was really forced from them. It was all sort of in their offense, and it kind of was a bit of a well-oiled machine, really, just pinging the ball around and looking for good opportunities, knowing who their shooters were, trying to get those players open. So it was a really good sort of solid team performance from them.
Well, here's a look at some of the key numbers from the night in this one, and you look down the numbers there, Gareth. We spoke about 3-point field goal percentage. It did up a lot for the Bristol Flyers in that second half, but you combine that with the free throw percentage as well, and it's not going to be a good night for you. Yeah,
it's going to be always going to be challenging. When you're not knocking down your free throws, and I think you touched on it, Joel, that this season's been a good free throw shooting year for the Bristol Flyers, the British Basketball League. So I'm sure they'll be a little bit disappointed just with the 64% and the 3-point shooting. Taking 25 and just getting the 6 certainly doesn't help. But rebounding wise, that's a great stat. For them, points in the paint, 34 versus 16, so getting things done there, but just in terms of shooting, a bit of a struggle, and certainly didn't help the Flyers tonight.
16 of their 43 rebounds as well for the Flyers were on the offensive end. They ought to generate 16 second chance points out of those 16 offensive rebounds. So they're doing all the things right that Flyers usually do to win games out there. Pounding it inside, points in the paint, second chance opportunities, second chance points from offensive rebounds as well. It just the 3-point shooting and the foul shooting really told that story tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was just the execution on that side of things, that it was all kind of there, but Yeah, you just almost sense, you know, where the players can pick the line. They sort of went on a run, and then, you know, it was a turnover or something that just brought them back down. They just weren't able to get over that hump, if you like, to give themselves a real chance of winning the game.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, it does mean Flyers drop to 3-2 in their Group A campaign in the European North Basketball League. And don't forget, you can see the Flyers one more time before Christmas when they travel to Sheffield Sharks on Friday. You can next see the Flyers in action in the European North Basketball League in the new year on Tuesday, January 9th, when the Black and Bears come to the SGS College Arena. It's a 7:30 p.m. tip-off. Our Flyers TV coverage will start at 7 p.m. for that game, and there's still tickets available for that one as well. So if you do want to go watch Bristol Flyers in action down at the Wise campus, head to bristolflyers.co.uk. Well, Gareth, that's going to do it for our coverage here this evening. Just final thoughts from you on that game and key things that Flyers can maybe take into Friday's game against Sheffield.
Yeah, well, I think it just felt they were doing the right thing. Just, you know, it was almost a bit of an off night in to still be competitive against a team that are very competitive in the domestic league and in the European league. So there will be some positive take out of that. Trajan Lucas coming back is going to be a massive lift for Coach Kapoulis and coaching staff and his teammates. So there are things there. Just that probably a bit of an off night in terms of energy and just kind of making it happen. And you know, it's going to be a long trip home for them. I'm sure whether they come back tomorrow or tonight, but chance to reflect on that. But you know, having Lucas back, I think, is going to be a big positive, obviously, going into the BBL action.
Yeah, certainly will be positive for them to have T-John Lucas back in the team. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage here on Flyers TV this evening. Gareth, thank you to you for joining me here in the studio, and thank you to you at home for tuning in. That's our last game now until Christmas. So from everyone here at Bristol Flyers, we do wish you a very Merry Christmas. But for Gareth Till, I'm Joel Osborne saying so long, and we'll see you next time.